announcement.
Not yet. Going? Oh, we're live. Everybody, you ready? We're live.
Yay!
Ready?
Whatever you
Wait.
now.
We're supposed to play some. What are we? What were we? What were we playing?
Oh, yeah. Just a second. Wait, I got it.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
What?
Quick question. Is that going to be playing at the beginning of the children's episodes?
I mean, I assume we don't need them in the children's episode. I would hope we don't need them in the children's episodes.
But hey,
It'd be
by the way,
hilarious.
I'd say you should put it on there just to be ironic.
Yeah.
we could, you know.
If I'm there, there's like a 10% chance you should anyway.
But yeah, so going, we just part of the Dorkening, guys, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
You know what that means we get to do this.
Are you tired of those boring, predictable gifts? Every holiday season, it's the same old thing. A pair of socks, that terrible holiday sweater, or how about that fruitcake? Oh, if I get another fruitcake, I'm gonna tear into someone's esophagus. Anyways, why not try something bold this holiday season? And nothing screams festive like a zombie Santa with your coffee. Bold, robust, delicious. Deadly Grounds Coffee. It's coffee to die for and zombie approved. Why not get a little deadly this holiday season?
All right,
Wow.
and yeah, one last little thing, and then you get all of us live, folks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Owlite Holiday Christmas Office Party at Holiday Office Party and to the Dorkening Network with the Owlite Network. So excited. Oh, wait. We have somebody else to add to the stage. We got somebody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Hey, Drew.
So, hi there, everybody. So we had the best gift of all. We have asked our weird, wonderful, wacky, and altogether strange friends from the Owlite, because we're all insomniacs in this program, to join the Dorkening. And because somebody here definitely is by far the Scroogiest one of all, I remembered that somebody had this suit. Okay, so if Chasmadraz can stop harping on the holidays, that would be great. But as I was saying originally, hear ye of old times, yea. The Dorkening has welcomed you, Owl Night Network. But the best present of all is you don't need to change a thing. You can continue to be strange with your stories of horrorness and horrible horror movies and talking, drinking squirrels and whatever's in the background with Jenny involving gnomes and that man's beard and that guy's beard and whatever Raz is doing. All of that. Just continue to be the weird, wonderful, wacky, weird people you are and never change. And that is the real meaning of Hanukkah, kids. So with that said, well, from as a representative of the Dorkening and Splash Pages, where Carrie haunts us every day since she somehow decided we were worth it. Happy holidays to all of us. Welcome and continue with the show. So in the words of the great Kevin McAllister, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year, too.
Yay!
Thank you.
And there was
No, Drew's in that Drew in that outfit's got me second guessing myself now, man. I don't know about that.
Oh man, no, we gotta love the Drew.
Did
I
you
love
want to see my
I just don't
Christmas
like
tree?
Santa.
Yes, let's see your Christmas tree.
Nice.
Nice.
I like it.
Gnomes. My gnome is waiting to go on a swim.
Is that Nome,
You wanna-
Alaska?
You want to see my Christmas tree? This is my Christmas tree.
Cool. Here you go. Here's another one for your collection, Nomi.
That's cool right
yeah.
there, Raz.
I'll
Hell yeah.
do
We have
you
the same
better.
trees. We all have the
I'll
same
do you
tree.
better, mate.
But okay, cool. Good. You got 4. Congratulations. You can count to 4. Let drowning pool
I
now.
can only count to 4.
Thank you. But seriously, Mollo Claus popped back on to wish you all congratulations. This has been a long time coming. We finally made it here, which means if I had made a bet, Raz would have paid me some sort of currency.
Yeah.
Yep. But seriously, congratulations to all of you. Keep up the excellent work. For those I don't know you, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. For those who I do know, you wacky dumbasses, congratulations. And for Carrie, I swear to God, to quote the immortal Spider-Man, everybody gets 1. Okay. But seriously, guys, have a great show. Continue to keep doing your good work. And for all Scrooges out there who have their reasons, I respect your opinion, even though it's 100% wrong. For everybody else, continue to keep doing your thing. And happy holidays. And I'm sure I'll hear from all of you very soon, especially the ones who are friends with me on Facebook. So have a great show, everybody. Be well. And everybody watching, thank you. I know I look fantastic. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Santa Bunny.
And Festivus for the rest of us.
Nice.
Oh, Drew. Gotta love the Drew. So yeah, everybody, we are still the Owlite Network. Everything's going to be going the same as it usually is. We are just now under the Dorkening Network's umbrella. We're hanging out with those guys now, which is going to give us a bigger spread and more chances for you to like check us out and our friends. And we'll be jumping around, pulling people from over there onto here, hopping over there on their stuff, and just giving you guys a whole lot more fun. We would also like to officially use this office party to welcome Ron into the Owlite Network.
Yay.
Got Ron.
Yay!
He like was somebody who just jumped out to us and showed up for one show, and we're like, oh my God, you just have to exist in our network because you belong
Hey,
there.
Tom.
You are with us.
What Ron doesn't know is that we'd already started talking about it that very first night because we never told him that. Like the very first night, we were like, hey.
This guy's one of us.
It's nice to know that I've made such a good first impression. I only hope that I can maintain that.
Oh, they all went downhill after that, but it's okay because you're already in.
Yeah. You're good now.
Winnie was all for it from the moment she heard your story.
I mean, they have me, so their standards aren't very high to begin with.
I'm gonna have to come back because I'm having some issues with my headphones.
All right, man.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
And
What's
Raz,
up, man?
you just learned you're part of a weird, very weird group of people, I believe.
I have found my people.
Yay.
And you're surrounded by people with glasses.
Yes.
Drew had your back there for a minute, but you know.
Del, do you want me to explain what happened last Saturday to everybody here?
Sure.
Oh.
You were there. Okay. So last Saturday I had my birthday lament. I just turned 50, which is very lamentable. But we gathered at my usual pub. Hey,
What's up, man?
welcome.
It's a cha-cha.
Jeremy.
We gathered at my regular pub, and I got to torture him with what turned out to be the 1980 classic Flash Gordon, which is a movie that's basically like saying we have Star Wars at home. So
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, Carrie. Now, Dell fell asleep, but still, from what you saw, what did you think?
I think that is the only person I know who has.
I'm just saying, you can't have like you invited human beaker, but not me. I'm offended.
Hey, you were invited.
You have a permanent invite. You just don't. You're just always busy, man.
Yeah, me and Jar are saving the comic book world one interview at a time.
One interview at a time. That's right.
But
Yeah,
Jeremy's got his own music over here. I just gotta find it. Oh wait.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how memes are started, buddy.
Brown cow.
Exactly. Do the Jeremy.
I'm never gonna give you down.
So Flash Gordon to me was, hi, I'm a football player. Oh, somehow I got in space with the hot chick whose shirt somehow matches the text on my shirt, which tells me what my own name is, and she's a real estate agent. And then Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof is a scientist, and he's running around talking about things. And then we ran into these people, and there was a big football match with a watermelon, and she was a cheerleader. I'm not done yet. And and then it was over because I slept. But I think
I got this one.
With the watermelon, then it was strange. Okay.
Bell it out, guys.
Let it out.
Pick me, coach.
Okay, Drew, you go. Then
Yes, but the thing what you have to understand about Flash Gordon the movie is how Queen was literally like, we're going to do one song. Okay, we're going to write one song. Then we're going to do an entire album essentially doing the same song again, but each time it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But how we're going to get away with it, we're going to say Flash at every time. Okay, that's just, we just, okay, we're feeling this. I'm feeling the dun-dun. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to say Flash. Okay, Flash. No, we got to say Flash with pizzazz. Flash. Okay, can we add an okay. Okay, what is he? He's the master of the universe. This is like in Always Sunny when they're putting together the Dayman song.
Yep.
He was.
I got you.
I've interviewed Sam Jones actually a few times, and he's an amazing character all himself.
I got really stoned with Sam Jones once.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was not TED level Sam Jones, but it was still fantastic.
He's a living off of doing cons now. Like that's what he strictly does is cons.
So Raz, when you're getting high, did you just be like, yeah, man, that's a Ming. Yeah, that's a Ming, man.
I have a feeling that's probably how the whole idea of Flash Gordon came to be. Is like, you know what we should do, man.
Well, that was LSD.
That was cocaine.
Yeah.
I'd say cocaine and LSD.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, the funny thing, because I remember one time I talked to Carrie, and I was like, for some reason we were talking about drugs. I don't know why. We just talk about random things. You guys know this. And I was like, can you imagine what I would be like if you were on cocaine? I've never seen Carrie just like, no.
Yeah.
So you are the last person who should ever try cocaine. And I was like, why? She said, I think I'm paraphrasing, but her equivalent was, Drew, if you did cocaine, I think you would be the first person in this world to become one with the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the episode of Futurama where Fry had that, like, what was it, the millionth cup of coffee or whatever, and he just like
Yes.
It would be like that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those
I
of
was
you,
like, yeah.
for those of you who've seen Flash Gordon, I think we can all agree that Brian Blessed was definitely had his fair share of the cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have speed powers too? No, man.
I'll just fly myself.
I feel like
Flash Gordon is an awesome movie.
I agree.
This is why we need Jan Sampson here.
I mean, we could have been stuck watching Rhinestone. So.
Hey. That is a good movie if you make it a drinking game.
That's true.
It even has its own theme song. Drinking
Exactly.
song.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's query. Rhinestone, would it have been better with Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It had to be
Arnold.
Mr. Stallone.
Arnold, because Arnold has a sense of humor.
Okay.
He proved that with Twins
True.
and
Yeah, I love
Kindergarten
that.
Cop.
Yep.
Stallone is only funny when he's trying to be serious in a funny moment. Like, oh, I guess it's the 3 seashells.
Yes.
Like, that is funny because he's doing I'm trying not to be funny, but I'm still sounding like I have some sort of perpetual cough for the last 50 years. Oh.
Yep.
You know?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Actually, I would love to see either Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone doing Burt Reynolds' part in a little whorehouse in Texas.
Okay, so now that you bring this up, there's a little movie called The Villain that came out in the late 70s
the other night.
Where he basically plays Dudley Do-Right, and this is a live action Wile E.
He's
Coyote
completely oblivious.
cartoon.
Yep. Was it Kirk Douglas that was the villain?
It was Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas.
Yes. You must watch it. It is a thing to behold.
My mom and grandma showed that
live action Bugs Bunny cartoon or Roadrunner and Coyote.
Roadrunner, yeah.
Indeed.
My mom and my grandma showed me that movie in like the 80s because they were like huge fans of it, and I got to the point where I would like want to watch it. I'm like single digits here, and I'm like watching this movie, The Villain, like once a fucking week for like almost a solid year, dude. It was ridiculous.
I half
It's that
expected
good.
Mel Blanc to show up somewhere. They have Mel Tillis, but not Mel Blanc.
You're rooting this, tooting this hombre.
Hey, Jar, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that time I was in that J.J. Cohen interview for 3 hours. And literally at one point there were 10 people on StreamYard. I'm like, I'm just going to sit and watch this fire go.
It's almost like watching, like being in the fire, but watching while you're in the fire. It's very warm.
Yeah, it's very cozy. It's like this is where DDD was born, kids.
My 10-year-old just came up and was just like, "Can I turn off the heat?" I'm like, "What? No."
We need it to survive. If we don't, the cold demons will get in.
Yes, winter has begun. God damn it.
Thank you. And you still don't know anything, Theon.
I still jump between here in Nebraska. I'm still jumping between furnace, nothing at all, and AC because
Really.
Yeah, I'll leave it mostly not on at all, but until it gets to like nights where it's been down in the 20s or so, then in the morning when I wake up, I'll warm the place up a little bit. But then if I leave it on for too long, then I have to put on the AC because it'll get back up in the 60s, and it's like, well, that's too hot.
I'm doing both at the same time. Like I'm in the basement where the actual furnace is, and I have to close the direct vent into the basement from the furnace because it gets like too bad. But like it's just cold enough that you need it, but then it gets just warm enough that you still need to cool down. So I've got a fan over here.
I still
You know what I just realized?
fan on because I like the white noise.
Yeah.
Oh, in my room,
Carrie.
I have 2 fans going.
Carrie, I just realized something funny about the difference between our show and this show is that in this show, I can see the cigarette smoke each time.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like me and Jeremy should have some fake cigs so we can feel like we're joining in. Like we're
I could
all doing our.
I'll just smoke something different with Jeremy. It's all
Yeah.
right. I put the
Yeah,
cigarette
I
down
just
and put the joint up.
I feel like I should just get dressed fancy and put on big glasses and just do my best Larry King.
All right.
So I was like, all right, Owl Light Network.
I want to see that. Like I want you to do that one day.
Well, I'm not
I
the one
Larry
without
King.
glasses now.
Hold on. I gotta reach into my shopping bag real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, right.
I got a shopping bag of pre-rolls right now.
Yes, this is a holiday party. The fun has just begun.
I didn't.
Okay.
That's not
Watch
mistletoe.
Yeah, watch out, mashed potatoes.
Okay, so I have to ask because I understand that while there's some individuals here that aren't the holly jolliest, does anyone here have a movie that every season, like around this time, they have to watch? Is like the traditional movie, like it? Well, yes. I mean,
I actually do. As
Claus
much as I
movies.
hate Santa Clauses are good. As much as I fucking hate the holidays, and it's all of them, it's Ernest Saves Christmas for me. I still watch that every year.
There.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's back.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Well, yeah, it's definitely. I'm a
moved
big
up in
Ernest
the
fan,
world.
so any excuse to watch an Ernest movie is just a win for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
personally,
Ernest
my
Saves
personal
Christmas
choice-
was a good movie.
My
Yeah.
personal choice is Die Hard, just because I'm of the firm belief that it is a Christmas movie because it
Yeah.
takes place at Christmas.
Yes.
You have Al singing, Christmas carols, and the whole thing revolves around a Christmas party. So how is it not a
Yeah.
Christmas movie?
Agreed.
But in my family, we have a tradition of a Christmas story with Peter Billingsley.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's that's something that my family does too. And I just watched the new one, the sequel to it, this last year, and it was actually
Oh, that
surprisingly
movie
good.
was awesome.
I did like it.
That
Yeah,
was
I liked the
surprisingly good.
sequel.
They had made
Okay.
TV ones that were not so hot, but
That was there
Yeah,
was a Thanksgiving
terrible.
one that was a sequel to it originally.
yeah.
So for me, it's the
Drew's
triptych
dying over there for some reason.
of the Charlie Brown Christmas special, the Garfield Christmas special, and then Elf.
Garfield, yeah.
When they
In
bust
that
out
order.
the Christmas tree,
Oh, boy.
and Garfield's my favorite. All their faces are just like,
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Well,
a good movie.
well, I will say this. Besides owning a Santa
Oh,
suit,
Kiss
I
Goodnight.
definitely. Oh, yeah. Kiss Goodnight's a great one. I also do own a Buddy the Elf costume, and I do occasionally go out and dress as it. So
That's
just
what my
wanna let
daughter
you
has
know.
a lot. She's all about Buddy.
You bust into cafes going, "Congratulations, best cup of coffee." You must be so proud.
I have been thinking for years before I get too old enough to do it. I do want to go into New York City dressed as Buddy and do all the things, except eating gum from under a subway. That is disgusting. I will not do
Yeah.
that.
I've put
Like,
a lot.
but-
Good.
Yeah. No, but everything else I want to do.
I've put way too much thought into the whole Die Hard Christmas movie thing. Like I've broken down like plot points, trying to figure out if it was any other sort of situation in the tower, like would this have happened? And the answer is no. You have the right amount of Christmas hijinks and alcohol at Christmas parties for this to
Drew's
just
kind of
be
freaking
perfect.
out now.
What's up, Drew?
No, it's fine. No, I want you to finish your thought because I actually have a long, well-thought explanation about Christmas movies. But finish your thought.
No, that was it. Like I just thought there's no other kind of like party that could happen there or anything. It's like you got to have that mix of alcohol going to the Christmas party, people caring about their jobs less, not paying attention because it's the fucking Christmas holidays. Like all those things were actually extremely important to the plot to allow the people to get in and go as far as they got when they took over. Like there's just nothing else that could happen that would work the same. That was
Don't forget the couple that was banging in that office that was the brief moment of 80s tits we saw there.
Yep.
So that was also
You
important.
can't forget that.
Right. Okay. So I have given them as much thought because I'm very much a big fan of Christmas movies. Carrie, I've talked almost both of her pale gothic years off with my theories about this. And I feel like this is a very sound theory. So I believe Christmas movies can be broken down into three categories. The first one is ones where they're very much Christmas movies. Elf, Miracle on 34th Street, The Garfield, and then even that extends to Christmas-themed episodes. So The Office, Parks and Rec, The Real Ghostbusters, all ones that have episodes that are specifically about Christmas. Right? And then you have ones that are what I like to call Christmas adjacent. They happen around the holidays, but if you took the holiday out, it would still be the movie. So the best example I can think of is Batman Returns. It is a holiday movie. It does happen around Christmas, but if you took the holiday out, it would still be Batman Returns,
I
right?
still think it's a Christmas movie, though.
Now, with
Right.
a movie like Gremlins, but that's
Right.
not because
Right. But that's the point. So, like I say, Christmas. That's my third category. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. So.
Okay.
So something like Lethal Weapon, okay, technically happens around the holidays. But if you took the holidays out, it would still be Lethal Weapon.
True. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So then you have movies like Die Hard, where without Christmas, the movies wouldn't happen. So Gremlins, I feel, fits in that category because, remember, the Mogwai was given as a gift for Christmas by Billy's dad.
Yes.
Now, you can make the argument that he could have stolen and given the kid a gift, but it's still integral to that. Plus, Gremlins doing Christmas caroling before they murder the old bitch is personally one of my favorite moments in that.
And also the gift giving aspect. You tend to give bigger, more magical gifts during the holidays than you would say like for a birthday or something else.
Right.
Yes.
So then you have Die Hard. Now, Raz, I believe your theory is correct. Die Hard is a Christmas movie because if not for her holiday party, John McClane wouldn't have been at Nakatomi Plaza trying to save his marriage, and thus not there to intercept Hans Gruber and other people within basically saving the day. And you can say the same thing for Die Hard 2, which is essentially a flimsy remake of the first one, except at an airport where it is good, but it is not the same. And then, of course, they're like, fuck Christmas. We're going to go to summer in July in New York. And it worked.
Right.
Right. So that's my theory, is that all Christmas movies fall within that, where Christmas is either integral, it's literally part of the thing, or it's adjacent, but not really. Like Die Hard 3 is technically a Christmas movie because Shane Black has the biggest hard-on for Christmas ever.
Yeah.
Long Kiss Goodbye. Last Boy Scout, I think, was Christmas. The Predator, same thing. Christmas. Shane, he just can't stop with Christmas. Lethal Weapons. Fine. So that is my theory about Christmas movies. I just wanted to share it with all of you because I feel it's fairly sound, and you all seem fairly intellectual among all the smoke.
You'll be happy to know that is an established cinematic theory and has been since, I'm wanting to say, late 80s.
So just like people in my generation, I'm just going to think that was my idea until I find out it was not.
Me too. I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, I got this great. Oh shit.
Yep.
Speaking of,
What about the Hogfather?
Oh yes.
No.
Hogfather is definitely the holiday movie.
Christmas.
That would be one of my favorites. And Scrooged. Because
Yes.
Scrooged.
Oh, that was a good movie.
It was.
Yes.
Put a little love in your heart, Terry.
We were talking about Safe to Slay earlier.
We were talking about that, yeah.
Yep. Love that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big the Christmas Carol or the Christmas Story, whatever the one is with the kid with the Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah,
Christmas Story, yeah.
Oh, I hate that movie.
I've seen that more than any other in my family.
But Carrie, think of how many children didn't shoot their eye out with those guns because of that instructional hour-long movie.
I visited the house in Chicago.
I watch it. I watch A Christmas Story every Christmas when they play the 24-hour marathon.
Same.
Where was I?
And another movie that I also watch around the holidays is Home Alone. There's a good reason for that, is because of the fact that is the only movie that I can do that I can recite word for word in its entirety.
We have to mention National Lampoon's
Boca
Christmas
Boca.
Vacation.
Oh, yes.
That's the other family one for me. Like that's the only one I'm stuck with. Like that I still watch every year is probably Vacation.
What? Oh, yeah.
Christmas
okay.
Vacation. That was a damn good movie.
I am not a fan of Chevy Chase. Like I think he's fine in certain roles. I'm not like, oh my God, Chevy Chase, let's go watch Fletch.
Don't piss me off, Lou.
Fuck that.
Oh, I love Fletch and Chevy.
But
I love Fletch.
Christmas Vacation worked. You know?
Well, that's because it captured the essence of the families getting together during the holidays. It's one big convoluted mess.
Yep.
All the tropes. Yeah.
And I mean, the funny thing about Christmas Vacation is Johnny Galecki continues the tradition of different people playing Rusty.
Yep.
And in that same year, he was in a different Christmas movie. He was in Prancer.
Yep.
So you're like, oh my God, there's two Johnnies in the same timeline. This is like Flashpoint, but I care. You know? But Tom, I agree with you. The first Home Alone, first two Home Alones.
Yeah.
Are great. And the second one, I've never looked at Turtle Doves the same. Every time I'm like, oh man, he was nice to that Scottish woman. You know,
I love Home Alone 2. I love Home Alone 2 because of Tim Curry. Tim Curry stole the show in that whole entire movie.
Oh yes. Well, Tim Curry steals anything that he's in.
Yeah, he steals everything. Like that's him, man.
I just watched Clue again the other night, man.
That's a yearly watch
Clue's
for me.
like one of his best.
was gonna say
No,
that
that-
I've seen It's a Wonderful Life 37 times, but
I can't do that.
I
one.
love that
I've seen
movie.
I saw that one time,
Carrie,
never again.
Carrie, I'm with you there. I've seen it and I appreciate it, but I've always been more of a Miracle on 34th Street guy.
that's actually a quote from The Exorcist 3.
Clarence.
Which one is the whole line about the angel?
Potter, you're a
wings?
scurvy spider.
The bell and the angel wings, or whatever. I hate that movie. Whatever one that one was,
That's It's a
not
Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I hate that one. I've seen it once.
Yeah.
Never
yeah,
again.
but Raz, you throw the word hate around so much that, to quote Dr. Cox and Scrubs, it's lost its meaning.
Here's the thing, though. I don't actually hate anything in normal life.
I know you don't.
I'm really against the word hate, but when it comes to the holidays, it is literally the only time I believe in the word.
You know, Raz, they wrote a song about you back in the day, and I would sing it, but I'm too goddamn tired. But you are definitely a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, see, look at my title. The Grinch has got nothing on me, man.
Mr. Grinch.
See, like, the Grinch only really hated Christmas because he was lonely and he felt like he didn't belong, right? That was it. Like, as soon as he belonged, he liked Christmas. It was like, it doesn't matter for me. I still would not like Christmas.
Listen, it's okay. There needs to be a skeptic. If you rain on my parade, I will kill you. So that's just how I look at it.
Which
I think is fair.
Here's the thing: I'll participate in Christmas activities with my family or friends and stuff like that. And I'm not a dick during it. You know, I'm fine. Like, oh, that's cool. Hi, you know, whatever. But at home, when I'm by myself, there is no holidays. Like, there's not even allowed to be decorations down here in the basement because it's my no Christmas zone.
Well,
so let's unpack this. Why, Raz? Why do you hate Christmas so much?
To be honest with you, I didn't like it a lot as a kid. I was raised in multiple different religions, and it was very confusing to me how most of them were just about exactly the same. They just had different names that I had to memorize for everything, and it was confusing. I never liked getting gifts, even as a kid. I like getting things for people. Like, that's like a superpower of mine, is finding like the perfect thing for someone. But the fact that I'm only supposed to do that, other than birthdays, once a year for this whole thing that's very convoluted and expensive and strange. And just as I started to kind of get into it, and like I started getting older, you know, I started like getting the spirit or whatever. Then my brother passed away right around Thanksgiving, and then my dad 2 years later, a couple days before Christmas. So then I was just like, you know what? It finished me off. I went the other way with it again, and now I'm just done. Something could happen. You know, for me, there was 1 year where I liked Christmas again when Brooklyn came to live with us the first time. Then I liked it again for her for like a year, and then after that, I'm just back there.
For me, it was always about the Sears catalog, the Christmas catalog.
Yeah,
J.C. Penney, Sears.
Grandma would break that out, and we had to like circle things and to have the book ear, dog ear the pages or whatever. And
I know that was a thing for people.
I'm sorry. I got distracted. Someone started narrating, and I started to get lost in sepia tones of Christmas of yonder year. So whoever's voice that was, my God, sir, please keep talking.
No.
Okay.
After Elf, I would say the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yes,
that's a fun one. Yeah.
Yes!
I love that one.
That is one of my favorite. Me and my family watch that every year. It's come to the point where I can do almost about half of the voices. And my favorite is doing the hecklers together, just
Waldorf
back and forth.
And Statler, yeah.
Statler.
Yep. They're the best.
Especially when they're in the past. What was it? What's that scene when Scrooge is in the past? They're visiting and they see the Fossyworth Christmas party, and it's well, this is the part of the night where we take a speech. This is the part of the night where we take a nap. Oh, I pay no attention to them. But, thank you all and Merry Christmas.
I find
that was a speech.
I find it interesting that Raz has this antipathy toward Christmas, yet he likes all these Christmas movies.
I told you, like, I'm part of a big chunk of my life was like these were like family traditions and things like that, and I'll watch and participate like when I'm with people or I'm around people, but like I'm not watching those movies when I'm by myself or anything like that. I'm respectful to other people who like the holidays.
So Raz, what you're saying is it's kind of like social drinking. You're like a social Christmas person.
Yep.
It's Christmas by association.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yep.
That's
There you
fair.
go.
I don't need to be a
everybody.
dick to people about it. You know, it's wrong to be a dick to people because they like something you don't. So I just can't bring myself to be like that.
Listen,
Yeah.
Raz. Raz. I understand. I'm Jewish by association, so I get it.
I am too,
Okay.
oddly enough.
Yes, I know. I have been to many a Hanukkah where the only required viewing is the Rugrats Hanukkah episode, where you learn about that the greatest role model for all of Judaism in cartoons was Uncle Boris, because he taught us the importance of latkes.
Yeah, and 8 Crazy Nights also because my Jewish friends watch that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dork by association.
You're doing great.
Tonight is my official dorkening.
And now the paddling of the swollen ass with paddles.
Don't threaten me with that,
Thank you, Santa. Can I have another?
please.
Please, nobody said please.
Oh, that is so.
Oh, hey.
There's a funny thing in the horror like cinematic like world like with all the different like slashers and stuff, and this is leading into Christmas, just so you know. They say the most broken horror film franchise is Halloween, but in reality the most broken horror film franchise is Silent Night, Deadly Night, and people forget about it because they tend to only think about it around Christmas time, but it is an actual slasher series. The problem with it is they're disconnected from each other. Like 1 and 2 is connected, which was then later connected to Silent Night, which was like the soft like reboot, but also a weird sequel. But all the other ones leading up to like 6 or 7 or whatever crazy number it was, they became what Halloween was going to become, which was one-off movies. You had the one that was about the haunted toys. You had the one about the mafia, like and witchcraft. Like they went off the rails after that. Like they did a Halloween 3, but just didn't stop.
On a tangent to that would be all of the movies that are April Fool's Day, which have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, because they're not connected at all. Yeah, they were just remakes because someone else had a different idea, but they put out 2 remakes of April Fool's Day within like a year or 2 of each other this last time. 2 different companies, neither of them knew that the other one was doing it, and no one cared about the rights because it was just a name.
I have a lot of
Jeremy, I just need to say you look like somebody who's fascinating writing a paper on all of this.
I am writing it all down. I got
I know.
my machine going.
He's going to use our
that's it.
later.
Like I feel like I want to call you Professor Jar Jar.
I'm listening. Very
I know.
What's the best Christmas comic? There we go. I've never read one.
Christmas comic?
Oh boy.
There's a lot. There's a
lot.
But right now,
the Ultimate Warrior Christmas comic.
I was just about to say that. Great. The Ultimate Warrior comic book, where the Ultimate Warrior
sodomizes Santa.
That sounds about as great when Spider-Man did the NFL crossover that still haunts my waking life.
Jar, do you have any off the top of your head? I have a few. I mean, I would say
the one that always comes to my head is Happy and the Noel we did.
Oh yeah, Batman Noel was great.
Yeah.
Happy is just horrible, like in the best way. Like this gang would love Happy so much.
Are you talking about her birthday?
Nope, we are not.
Fooled you.
Are we talking like full story? Or are we talking like single issues?
Single issue. Let's go single issue because we were talking about like one-off Christmas movies and like specials and stuff. So,
all right. I can recommend a few because my analytical brain is like that, which doesn't surprise Jeremy nor Carrie, or probably Jenny or Raz who's watched our show. Let's see. Well, I would definitely recommend any of the DC Christmas annuals. They're short stories. They're always great. The best one is finding out that Santa Claus delivers a lump of coal to Darkseid every year, which is the greatest thing ever because he's the only person to ever evade Darkseid from apocalypse every year, without fail. The other one is where Etrigan, someone summons Etrigan on Christmas and makes a very poor deal. Jar, you remember that one?
Did we read that for the show? I don't remember that.
My brain.
While his is like this huge sponge that sucks everything in, mine's is a colander that just like lets it all go.
Yeah, what that means is that if you come on the show, it's pasta night, nerd style.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We have spaghetti and we have wine, and you're allowed to smoke in your drinks.
You got to stay in the
Let's see. Well, I'll always hype up my beloved Starman series because their issue 27 has the Starman Jack Knight helping a homeless man who appears to be who's a Santa find his memories. So that is tier Christmas. The other one for all of you who enjoy your action Christmases, I would recommend. I believe it's Hitman issue 23 by Garth Ennis and John McCrea. Basically, it is an issue told completely in rhyme about two mercenaries hired to stop a radioactive Santa from nuking Gotham.
Wow.
So that's pretty great. I think there's an issue of Robin where the Joker kidnaps Tim Drake and takes him on a crazy ride in a stolen car or Batmobile. Written by Paul Dini. That's written by Paul Dini, everybody. So you know that shit be baller as hell. Drew is a living wiki database. I wish. Carrie is the database. That girl reads, man. That girl reads like her name is Matilda.
You get all the names down. I'm like, that guy who did the one with the thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that guy.
And that guy, yes, he is retired now, but he was quite a figure in the literature.
That makes you like the card catalog if you think about it, because you're there with all the little like reminders and things. So like we can look through, like, oh yeah, that's the information. Now I remember everything.
Well, you know, it's funny because
Delphine decimal system.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because there are a few, but then there's like Jeremy, there's the Long Halloween. They had a Christmas issue, but you know, again, they're like ones that Christmas touches on, but it's not a standalone, you know? So they exist.
I have one right next to me, Marvel Holiday Special. It's very fun and Christmassy anthology stuff.
I remember. It's funny because I remember there. Oh, Jar, wasn't there? There was a Marvel Christmas special where Santa got the Infinity Gauntlet and tries to wipe out the Avengers.
There is.
Were they all on the naughty list?
I don't know. All I know is you just see this panel of Santa rocking the gauntlet and saying he's going to wipe the floor with these bitches. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? Like, who?
Maybe the Great Lake Avengers. I can see that.
Oh no, it was definitely Iron Man there. He was like, no, just no. I don't know, Jar. My brain's kind of blanking. Like, I know there's a bunch, but there's like Christmas-y stories, but I don't think there's like. Anything else coming to mind for you? I'm kind of blanking.
For me, I'm not much of a Christmas story reader, so I wouldn't even know where to start, except for the anthologies. Hit Google up. Google will tell you some stuff to read.
That's true.
And I do all the Christmas horror stories, so like they're.
Yeah. What's that one we just reviewed? The James Tynion one. Is that the Deviant?
Yes.
Did we read that?
I think.
No, it's
we didn't read it.
It's an ongoing series.
Oh.
Yeah.
We cover so much news, Jar.
And there's a new one out by R.L. Stein. That's
I read that.
Sleigh Ride. And
I read that. It's out already.
But if you'd like an old one, what's really cool is there was the holiday special for way back in the day, Hellraiser, where one of the new orders comes in. It's not the Order of the Gash, but they go to this like shelter type of place where there are a lot of people with needs, and somebody has like crashed their party, and so they go through and they're trying to figure out what happened, and they're unwrapping all of these toys trying to see what they are, and they're all like fake versions of different things that you could use to summon Cenobites, but none of them were actually the real thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they had like somebody was trying, and it tells the backstory behind him. Like somebody was trying to save their soul by, they were a marketing person, and they were like, well, if we take this cube, I can market it as a children's toy, and then you can get all these children's souls. So they're like, okay, yeah, go for it. We'll let you go back to Earth for a little bit. And then he takes it through and they get it past. But when they release it, they've turned it more into like a Rubik's Cube kind of thing. And it's cutesy and it's got all these colors and stuff on it. And so he's like, no, my soul. And they like suck him back in the hell. They're like, ha, 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 ha. People try that all the time. It never works. And just different little things that
I've not
they've
read this.
turned it. Oh, it's funny as shit.
I want to read it because
There's-
it's Hellraiser, but like it's also Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's got the different crew. It's got like the there's a bunch of different Cenobites that were created in the Hellraiser series, and so there's like the faces in there. I can't remember his name, but the one from Nam, who's just like, he rocks this huge like bullet bandolier and stuff, and so he's in there. He's just like, I want to shoot things up. Who do I get to kill? Who do I get to kill? And they're just like, nobody. We have to solve this mystery.
Yeah, come back nobody.
So yeah, so it's a whole bunch of little short stories about people trying to send people to hell, but fucking it up and using them as Christmas presents for the homeless, which is really bizarre. But it turns out well.
Okay.
It's fun.
I just remembered another series which I've never read, but I heard was pretty good. It's called Klaus. It's by Grant Morrison. So you know that shit's
good.
weird.
That is good.
So yeah. So it's basically the hidden history of Santa.
Yeah. Santa is like not a barbarian, but a warrior kind of.
Yep. So more of, hey, Santa is not who you think he is. Kind of like Santa's sleigh, but he's not the son of Satan.
Right. I'm also partial to Robot Santa from Futurama.
Yes. You've been naughty.
That's a version of Santa I can vibe with, man.
So would it be like the Santa that was in Violent Night, where he has kind of this barbarian backstory?
Yo, that shit like was awesome.
That movie was good.
That was such a great movie. Like, the fact that was basically Die Hard with Santa, I was like, okay. And then I saw it, I was like, I did not expect that shit to go.
Now, we were talking
so
about
hard.
rare exports.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Which is...
I still have yet to see that movie.
It's a bad horror movie, but it's also kind of good. It's foreign, of course, but like, if you can sit for it, I liked it a lot.
Where can I find it if I want to watch it?
It's on Peacock.
Okay. Rare exports.
See, I saw it when it was like free on Amazon Prime. This was before everybody decided.
Yeah, you can also see it on Amazon Prime too.
Yeah, it was on Netflix for the longest time when it first came out.
Well, I unfortunately have to go because it's getting late and I have not had anything to eat since about 11. So I'm starving. So everybody, good chatting with y'all. Nice meeting some of y'all who I haven't met for the first time.
Nice meeting you, Drew.
Same. Nice meeting you all. I'll be back when you least expect it. That's kind of been the clause, no pun intended, in my contract. Jar, smoke 'em up.
My first get out.
What?
I'm still looking forward to my first get out, Jenny.
That'll be good. All right, y'all. Be well. Have fun. Keep joining.
Thank you, Mr. Santa Bunny.
The energy.
That's exactly why he shouldn't do cocaine. He was sober.
Oh yeah. We joke about it all the time, but he was my roommate when we were at Terrificon, and it was just like, I sleep constantly, and there was just this like, hey, Carrie, wake up, good morning. I just swam 20 laps, did the gym, went out, had my breakfast, had some coffee. Here's your Coke Zero, here's your meds, get up. We have to go on the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Did you start planning on places to hide the body?
Dude, it was on a cemetery. Yeah, the hotel was in a cemetery.
Like, he just was posting pictures the other day, and he's like, when you wake up and discover that your hotel was on a cemetery, and there's just like all the gravestones out the hotel window.
It was a beautiful cemetery, though. I'll give it that.
It was. It's a very nice cemetery. Unfortunately,
What con was this?
Terrificon. So we were up in pronounce the town for me.
Uncasville, Connecticut.
Yes.
Uncas?
Uncasville.
Uncasville, yeah.
They
And so
say in
yeah,
Uncasville.
it's fun because Leo is like, "Oh my God, you chose that hotel? That one's haunted." And I was like, "Really?" So I started.
Good.
I'm like, "Haunted hotels, Uncasville," and it's like all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Of course, I already knew the whole history of the hotel and where bodies were
Yeah.
still left underneath it before they even before I even.
Yeah.
picked
Oh
it
my
up.
God.
Yeah, but I'm just like, Leo, your entire state's haunted. I could stay anywhere. Like if I was like,
It's a
just
good
like
part
in a
about New
parking lot
England.
quick shop, it's haunted.
New England's great for horror people. It's
It's
just
like
like
it's legit. It's
Yeah.
either Ohio or you have to go out to New England. That's it. Like west, you go further west. It's
they got some
not a lot of
stories,
great horror
but
out there.
not that great.
Yeah, right.
I'm
but
working
people
on
in
the
Ohio,
Nebraska.
like just and I'll give Michigan some props. They've got the Michigan Triangle over there.
I mean, that's why Providence. There are so many authors in Providence that I just, or Providence adjacent, depending. But yeah, they all have the Providence thing
If
going.
I had my way, Nebraska would be one of those states. Working
You
on it.
know, we have
You
to
have to
do
turn
our
off your
best.
wind machine
We've got
first.
the corn. That's pretty much all we have is the corn.
Your giant wind machine blows all the ghosts away, man. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Well, that's because
when I'm driving in from Colorado and like the wind picks up like 80 miles away from the border so hard that I'm watching my gas mileage just slowly die and I can feel the wind against my car. And every time I go through there from Colorado, that's what it's like. And then it pushes me home from there. Like I leave and I get home 10 times quicker. Like that route to Ohio just blows me all the way down.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because Kansas sucks and South Dakota blows.
Yeah.
No, you're going up. You're so yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We watched the wind mug a man of all his food and grab a metal chairs and a giant metal table up and throw it across the fucking area outside. Like that's some fucking wind. Like I thought it was gonna stab me. Like I was waiting for like a gust of wind in a trench coat.
Yeah, because Nebraska's a plain.
Very plain.
Like we have a rock or two here and there that like is it Chimney Rock that we have or what is it that we have out in the east?
It's Chimney Rock.
Yeah,
it used to be a chimney until the wind blew it down, and all it is now is just a rock.
It's the size of a moderate sized building or so. I don't know.
It's Castle Rock that was the fictional town.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but we're also in a sinkhole in Lincoln, or not a sinkhole, some sort of valley thing that they call it. So we have our cone of safety that goes out, but that's only for the rain. It's not for the wind.
Yeah.
And then Omaha has the Omadome, but the rest of the state is just like not protected at all. They just keep getting taken down by tornadoes or flooded out and stuff.
Right.
And
I would think you guys would actually have more tornadoes because we have a ton of them where I'm at. Like,
well,
we're almost not quite, but almost the tornado capital of the world. It's like us and then Kansas.
There's
or
a
Kansas
place.
and us.
There's a place south of us that has been taken out. It got taken out by tornadoes, like the whole town, like 4 or 5 years in a row. And it was just like, you might want to stop rebuilding it. You know, you might just realize that this is going to keep happening. Your houses are made out of plywood at this point because that's all you can afford to build with.
Yep.
And
insurances won't cover any other more expensive material at that point.
Yeah, but
it's just the same philosophy. Why do people still live in California when they have the earthquakes, or why do people still live in New Orleans when they have the floods? And
or Xenia, Ohio, for that matter, because that poor town's gone.
Yeah, but in Lincoln we have wind tunnels also going through, and that's what Raz got to experience. We're sitting downtown. Like I literally there are inclines, but there are not hills really. And I at one point when I was still able to work, I was riding my bike to work, and it was like just like a mountain bike, and I was going downhill, and I was having to stand and push down on the pedals to go downhill forwards because I was getting blown backwards. And so we were in the same area where that happened when he said, somebody's brilliant idea was to tear down part of this building and on a corner in the downtown area where like if I'm walking downtown and I don't have my hair pulled up, it will go around a corner before me and stuff. The wind is well, it's but
You and James are professionals though, because me and Michelle had no idea what was happening. You guys, let's go. You're like, let's go outside anniversary. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're out there, and you already know what's gonna happen. Like you live there, you know what's gonna happen. I have no idea, and me and Michelle are just watching this poor guy. Just his drink goes, he stands up, his food goes, his chair goes, the table goes, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, and he just leaves. And y'all are just like,
they put up this sculpture and then put out all these tables, and then like the restaurant that's right beside them put up a fence and like a canopy over it and stuff so that their tables won't blow over. But for some reason people thought putting this little nice, they can sit out and look at the nice downtown area and this bizarre sculpture while they have their meals from these other places. Like they obviously weren't from Lincoln, whoever designed that, because the rest of us know it's like, oh yeah, no, you can't. Oh well, there goes. I wonder how many times they have to like fetch those tables from across the street.
It's gotta be a shit ton. Because like my drink started to go, and you guys, like, right as the wind was going, you guys were just like, you guys were fine. Like you knew it was happening. It didn't affect you or James. Like this was just normal. And I'm like watching everything blow around. Like I've been in a tornado, and I think that's what's about to happen right now. I'm just like grabbing my drink and like my cigarette and like holding them for dear life and looking at Michelle, and she's like, "What's going on?" And y'all are just like, "Yep."
Nebraska.
Now hear a guy with a chainsaw come out of the woods and just murder someone in front of us while we're having a cigarette, and I won't bat my eye at that. But the wind mugs me or tries to mug me and almost kills a man. And that freaks me out.
I did have where you could go and make your personalized license plates. You can have one that isn't a state issued one on your car, but I can't drive, so I can't get them made. But I took 2 really nice shots of like storm buildups and was like, Nebraska, where the sky attacks you. And like
the sky is
we have Nebraska, we have weather, which I think is much better than our current motto, which is Nebraska, it's not for everyone.
I think it should be Nebraska, blow me.
Whether it will or whether it won't.
It should also be Connecticut too.
See, I like
no, actually, no, Waterbury.
I like the one that South Park used, which the sign was welcome to Nebraska. Sorry.
Yep.
That sounds more like Canada. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, we went from being the good life to something I don't even remember to.
I remember it's rare, well done, because it was a reference to the fact that Omaha steaks.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm surprised it's not a Husker reference, to be honest.
I'm trying to look up what Ohio's is, but it changes a lot too. Like,
well, yeah, we spent over $300,000 on a firm from out of state to come up with Nebraska. It's not for everyone. Like
Ohio's is probably something like, if you ain't from up north, you're okay.
It used to be with God All Things Are Possible, like in 1959. And then they changed it in 84 to, I remember this one, the Ohio, the Heart of It All, because they had that one until 2001. But like, I'm having problem finding the current one, which is weird.
Nebraska. At least we're not Kansas.
Thank God for Mississippi. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Way about the Iowa way to greet you. If we greet you, which we may not do at all. The Texas motto is friendship.
Okay, they just unveiled their new slogan this year, and they decided the new slogan was going to be Ohio, find it here. And then they did some other weird shit and changed it back to the heart of it all or whatever. I don't know. This is all very confusing.
Find it here.
Ours is all like
find what
very like pretentious. We're like, by the sword we seek peace, but peace only under liberty. You guys got these like, yeah, fuck Nebraska.
Ours should be like terrifyingly relevant. And that's just
we've had the same saying since 1775. That's how grand Massachusetts. We're like, we'll stick with it. It ain't broke.
I'm quite surprised that Texas's motto isn't Texas. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I love how Jenny's participating in the conversation via
Chat.
messages. Yeah. Because none of us ever shut up.
Speak, Jenny.
You can talk.
It's a way to talk without cutting other people off. It's pretty impressive. It's what I should do.
Connecticut's motto is the Constitution State.
You know, we talked about like all kinds of different Christmas media, but we didn't talk books. And I wanted to throw out there Nosferatu by Joe Hill is probably
Yes.
Yeah.
an amazing like Christmas themed where Christmas is important. It's the whole point of, well, it's like 50% of the point of the whole thing. Like it's really well written and well done. And I highly recommend the audiobook because Kate Mulgrew reads the audiobook.
Well, that's
And
what I
she's-
started with was the audiobook. I didn't know anything about it, and I was not introduced to Joe Hill as a writer. I didn't even know that he was a son of Stephen King, to be honest with you. And then I got the audiobook from Audible, and I started listening to it, and I was like, man, this sounds very much like something Stephen King would write. And then I that's when I found out that Joe Hill was a son of Stephen King. Like, this kicks ass. Like,
and the
this is
main
a really
reference with
good book.
Pennywise.
And then I found out that they were going to make the mini series about it, and
Oh, it was a whole TV show. It was a whole.
I still have yet to watch it.
I've seen all of it by now. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be, but it wasn't bad either. It was decent.
I just
No.
want to know if it ended the same way that it ended in the book.
Similar. It's similar enough.
Okay.
Joe Hill is one of those authors where when he releases something, I'm getting it immediately or trying to. I remember when Nosferatu came out, I immediately went over to, well, it was a Hastings. I don't know if any of you have experienced a Hastings. It's kind of like a bookstore and a video game shop.
We
And
had those
they-
a lot in the
yeah.
90s. We haven't had those since like I think early 2000s. They all went out.
Right. But I went over there and I bought the hardcover and went back to, I was on break on work. I was working at Jimmy John's and I would work like the morning shift and then have some hours off and then come back and work the evening shift until like close to close, something like that. But I would just stay at the store and read, which was a point of contention for some of the employees because they were like reading. I stopped reading after I graduated high school and didn't have to do it, you know. And I'm like sitting there going, "Whatever, you're missing out," you know. And like I'd read like 100 pages of that book, then go back to work and kind of wait for my shift to end so I can continue on. Because
Right.
holy crap.
I used to read a lot growing up, and we had in the mall because I'm same age as Uncle Necro over here. We had Walden Books. If any of you
Oh,
are
yeah.
familiar with
Oh,
Walden
yeah.
Books.
Oh yeah, that was the place. I love that
All of the
place.
employees
Oh,
in
yeah.
there knew who I was, and I would just come in, I would find a book, I'd sit on the floor, and I'd start reading. Then I would just be there for hours. Nobody ever said a word. I read a lot throughout high school, college, and all of that. And then I majored in creative writing, I think, as I stated before. And I doubled up on creative writing classes in my senior year, which I do not recommend doubling up on creative writing classes because I don't know if you ever had to do like a senior level thesis paper, which is supposed to take you all semester and you do all of your research and it's like 30 pages long and whatnot. But imagine trying to do that for 2 creative writing senior level courses where you have to do portfolios for each one of them. It's ridiculous the amount of reading and writing that you have to do if you double up. And it damn near drove me crazy. So after I graduated college, I just stopped reading. I got so burnt out on it. So now I just basically stick with audiobooks. I tell people I forgot how to read.
I mean, you're still enjoying, books and stories just in a different
absolutely.
format. But I mean, you're still technically reading. It's
I've
just
got close to 500 titles in my Audible.
hell yeah.
Wow.
I go back and forth a lot. Like I'll listen to some things. I'll experience some things on Audible because I feel like some stories do better. Nosferatu did a lot better to me because I've read it and I've listened on that. My favorite audiobook ever is Fantastic Land. But things like Fantastic Land which is along the same lines as like World War Z. Those kind of things where you're getting like information and interviews from other characters and stuff. I feel like those things are lent to audiobook like hardcore, and they do so well as audiobooks.
Audible has been good with introducing me to new authors that I would not have otherwise have found out about because I wasn't reading books. And two that I'm into. I mean, this has nothing to do with Christmas books, so we're kind of off topic. But two that I'm currently listening to that I really like is one is Drew Hayes, and the other is Brett Battles. And they're two completely different authors because Drew Hayes is also he does a podcast called Authors and Dragons, which is them playing live D&D sessions. And his stuff is just, it's very, sometimes it's meta, but it's very funny. He's a very comedic author, but he's kind of cross genre. He'll do fantasy, he'll do sci-fi, he'll do superheroes, he does magic. And the one that I'm currently listening to right now just released on Audible, which is The Case of the Felonious Fair. It's the third book in his 5-minute Sherlock stories, which is a character named Sherman Holmes who was experimented on with this brain-altering drug, which makes him the smartest person in the world, but only for 5 minutes at a time. And it only happens once a day. So it's a basically new series. He's got 3 books in it. The third one just released on Audible. But my favorite stories of his are his superpowers. And it's kind of like, let's say, the New Mutants from X-Men. But it's a fictional university in California that has an underground curriculum for people with superhuman abilities. And it covers all 4 years, and they're very long books. So it takes a very long time to listen to them all, but I'd highly recommend them if anybody is interested in that kind of stuff. Has nothing to do with Christmas, but I'm just throwing that out there. Shout out to Drew Hayes.
Hell yeah. It wouldn't be one of our shows if we didn't randomly squirrel about shit, dude. It's kind of our thing. But you guys anyone else got any good Christmas books? Or even shorts, or,
Did you know that they actually have a 'Twas the Night Before Christmas version of Die Hard?
Yes. Yes,
Like,
I have
from someone
seen that.
here.
And the Mick Foley as well.
I have not seen that, and I would like to.
Yeah, it's rather cool. So
You got something, Jenny?
Christmas at Crockett Grove, and one of my favorites was Mission Christmas, and then she added some and re-edited it, and now it's called Crazy for Christmas. Crockett Cove.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it is until you get to a certain point, and then it changes from Hallmark to other. And yeah, for the more cleaner Christmas books, that the Christmas at Crockett Grove. I cannot speak by Slovakia trained. No. I just normally like copy and paste.
There is an amazing well-known author, like top one, first place many bookseller lists, etc. Brain is mush at the moment. Christopher Moore. I love him. He does a lot of horror, comedy, more comedy side, and he does one of his many things in his books is he has a couple that are called the Pine Cove series. And the first time I ever experienced him, it was a Christmas novel. My friend bought it and sent it to me because one of the main characters is Raziel the Archangel, and that's part of where my name comes from. And she said, "I just picked up this book, and if I didn't know you personally, I would think you wrote it because it's your humor. It's you." And the way they talk about Raziel in this, that's also you. So you have to have it. So she bought a copy and just didn't even tell me she was sending it. It just showed up in the mail one day with a note. Like she was like on some vacation. I didn't hear from her until like a month later. By then I'd read the book like 3 times. The whole point, it is like a horror comedy, flipping a Hallmark movie on its head, a Christmas Hallmark movie, because this little boy wants to make a Christmas witch because he saw this terrible thing happen. Santa got murdered and he accidentally saw it. And he wanted to make a Christmas witch. So God says, well, whose turn is it to do the Christmas miracle? You know what? Raziel hasn't done shit forever. Let's make him do something. So he goes down there and he helps this boy. Meanwhile, you've got the sheriff of Pine Cove, who's a pot grower, and he's terrified that he's going to get discovered growing pot as the sheriff. he is married to the equivalent of Xena, the warrior princess. Her name is Kendra, the warrior babe. She's retired. But she also has severe mental disorders and is on severe medication, but she also smokes and drinks a lot. So she's crazy as fuck. Everybody in town is like some crazy fucked up character. H.P. Lovecraft owns the cafe in town. A version of H.P. Lovecraft. So like you've got that happening. So it's all these crazy things, these crazy people, but with heartwarming messages and lessons about Christmas and things like Hallmark style in there. And it turns out that Raziel can grant the miracle by bringing Santa back from the dead, but oops, the Christmas miracle made zombies, and I'm not going to tell you any more than that. Those are all like the little mini setups for what the actual story is.
What's the name of it again?
It's called The Stupidest Angel.
The Stupidest
like
Angel.
For more, and it's tied into the other Pine Cove books, along with
There's Lamb. Wasn't
Lamb
Raziel in that as well?
Yeah, so that is that's one of the Raziel books too. There's a couple of different Raziel books in there, but then there's also other Pine Cove books that have some of the other characters.
Are these like young adult books?
No, they're very adult.
Okay.
So mine, a few years ago, I just randomly picked up on Kindle this book here, Ghosts of Christmas Past.
Okay.
And all the stories are great. I do recommend picking this up, but one particular one that has Neil Gaiman, and the name of the short story is Nicholas Was. And that's something that,
Christmas card.
Yeah, she uses that as a Christmas card. And I don't know, it's very short. Can I read it to you?
Go ahead.
Is that legal?
Is that copyright violation? Or
I think that's copyright.
Okay. But it's very short, but very powerful.
We
can put a link up.
Copyright if we're crediting the original source.
So with writing, it's weird, especially with YouTube, because there was a big thing with Reddit and YouTube for writers a while ago, where a lot of people were reading things, even credited technically. You still have to get permission to read something, even if you're crediting it. Okay. Now, if you're doing a clip of something real quick, that's okay. But if you're reading the works in its entirety, no matter how long or short it is, you still have to have actual permission.
Well, can I read
can
the
you give
first
us
paragraph?
a teaser, and then we can refer people to wherever they can go purchase it?
Yeah. You can do like a little, like a small, the equivalent of like a 3-second taste of it is what you can do.
All right. So I'll just do that. So the first paragraph, Nicholas was older than sin, and his beard could grow no wider. He wanted to die. Go pick up the book.
That's a good. That's a good intro.
Yep,
I'm in.
We can throw the links and stuff up definitely.
I'm putting up a link to Vimeo because for everything, so everybody is getting this. Sorry if we're getting spammed, but
it's the tidal wave.
Company called 39 Degrees North got his permission and made in 2010 like claymation video about it.
Oh, I love claymation.
And it's awesome. And the person who reads it has the right accent, and it's just beautiful. So,
but once again, it's if you want to embiggen me, it's
just a second. I got to get to you.
That sounded terrible.
Embiggen.
Phrasing. Seriously, is no one doing phrasing anymore?
No. Ghosts of Christmas Past. You can't see it because of the white, but it's Neil Gaiman, Robert Aikman, Jerome K. Jerome, Kelly Link, L.P. Hartley, and M.R. James is printed in here, which is one of my favorites. So, yeah, it's a great collection. Great little collection.
Yeah, with the Nicholas I used to hand make scrolls every year, and I'd draw like old work Santas and stuff, and then those guys made the video and Facebook happened, so I was just like, I'm gonna be lazy and just link that every year and put Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Proper phrasing is dead.
Yes, it is. I wanted to go back, Ron, you reminded me when you were talking about the superhero that was being created that had like the 5 minutes of being super smart.
Mm-hmm.
We just got done on Splash Pages reading some JSA stuff, and I was learning about some of the I think of them as maybe not so superheroes. But
They're the golden age heroes.
Yeah, but there's Mr. Terrific, Michael Holt, the third smartest man in the world, as well as our man, Rick Tyler, super strength, 1 hour at a time. It's just like a combination of those two. It's like, what do you do? I'm the third smartest man in the world. And what do you do? I stand around and am smart.
Yes.
How do you quantify that? You know, with 7 billion people in the world, how do you quantify that you're the third smartest? Like, how do you know that?
Because you're that smart.
But it made me giggle every time I saw they put their names, you know, because there's so many freaking members of the JSA in this, because they're building up recruiting, so it just keeps getting like the whole
more ridiculous,
like double page is getting covered with stuff, and so I'm just like, who are these people? Oh, this guy, you know, it's just funny.
Well,
That's like saying I'm just smart enough.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. They just have. My favorite too is one of my other favorites is the Starman in this one he's the one from 3011, isn't it, Jeremy?
Something like that, yeah.
Something
way
like
beyond
that.
our years.
But he got sent back and he's schizophrenic, or what they considered to be schizophrenic when they were writing it. At least that's how they have him defined. He's taking meds and he goes to the hospital, but it's Starman, unbalanced cosmic cowboy. And they just keep having him, and he's like, I love Wednesdays. Why do you love Wednesdays? Because it's Sloppy Joe Day. He goes out, fights crime, then checks himself back into the mental hospital. And then he'll hang out for a while and take his meds and do his therapy and eat his wonderful
I was
meals.
really hoping that was the story that Drew was going to have us read this week, but it does not seem to be that kind of Starman.
No, it's a different Starman. But I'd already started on it. Because as soon as I read this Starman, I read all of the 1988, and then I've moved on to the one that we're on for this week because that's what I do.
Once again, like you, Drew, all you people have this ability to take in this information, and I finished Ex Machina, but Starman is daunting to me.
I only know who Starman is because they've said it a bunch of times. That's it. Before
Starman,
that, I didn't know.
Starman.
Yeah, I know. I honestly know nothing about Starman except for Starman exists.
I didn't either.
There's been 4 or 5 different Starmen. I didn't know who it was either before.
Yeah, this was my first experience with Starman, and now I'm finding out about the different Starmen. And there's Stargirl, who I was like, okay, so Stargirl exists. And
Isn't there a TV show about Stargirl?
There was.
Okay. I've seen the thing. I think
it's still on Disney Plus.
Okay.
See,
no, wait a minute. That would be
CW.
DC, so
yeah, it would be Max or whatever. Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's out there.
Yeah, I got scolded because I was like, so Stargirl is a girl with a star, and she rides around on a golden pole.
And her dad was named Starman.
Yeah,
it's
Drew
a cosmic
that
staff.
was the cosmic staff that was passed on to her by so-and-so, and you don't go down on your and don't get down.
So she flies around. Stargirl doesn't fly around on a star. It's a golden stripper pole.
Yes.
So she's Silver Surfer.
It's a cosmic, but she's a stripper version. Yes, okay.
Stripper version of Silver Surfer.
Yeah, flies around. Got pole will travel.
It's like the food delivery system, but for
I'm expecting Drew
strippers.
to pop in right now and be like, "Fuck you, that's
You're all wrong."
Everybody on the dorkening now. We let these people in? Why?
Oh, hey, don't get me started on Superman though. That's the only hero I don't like at all.
You don't like Superman?
Cannot. Literally, it's I don't hate Superman, but
I was going to wear my Superman shirt.
It's the only one that I just, as a character, as a hero, I literally have no respect for what he is because
keep it on, George.
He exists literally
sure.
just to make fun of humanity. That's his whole purpose, his whole existence, his whole creation. But behind the scenes, not him as a character, but the creation of him as a character. A lot of it it's insulting to people if you really actually look at Superman. And
the way to be like us, he makes himself as weak as possible.
Exactly.
Raz, what did you think about the movie Brightburn?
Brightburn I loved because it was an interesting take. There was a lot of honesty about what the character is and what it could do. Even if he had ended up being a good guy, the character development I thought was a lot more sensible and rooted a lot more in humanity.
Now, with that movie, if you watch the ending credits, right at the end, Grand Island, Nebraska is mentioned.
Did you hear he made an announcement about the Brightburn universe not that long ago? Apparently it was always intended to be continued, but all this stuff happened where he got fired from Disney, then he did Suicide Squad, then he went back and did Guardians again. Now he's running stuff over at DC, for the film division. And I guess it's still planned. It's still going to happen, and they were talking like a whole other cinematic universe with this. Like that was the original plan when he had done it, and he announced it. It was one of the things he was talking about after the writer's strike ended, that there was a picture. It was basically like a Brightburn 2 type thing on the front of a script.
Oh, that's cool.
But he'd been talking about it in interviews for a while.
I need to watch that. That was on my list, and then I forgot it existed.
Good. It's a great movie.
Well,
super good.
No, don't get me wrong. There are things about like I will watch. Like I like Smallville for some reason, but there was a lot of actors in Smallville I was really into when I was younger, and just a lot of different stuff.
I held out on watching Smallville until the last few seasons, and then when I watched it, I was kind of disappointed.
I liked that he never wore the cape. Honestly, that's why I think I liked it so much, because they made him actually more human, not just making fun of humans. Like he was actually human in that one.
I think they've tried to do that lately with the Superman character. Even if you look at what is the new one, Lois and Clark, or
I haven't seen that yet.
They have
Superman and Lois
kids now. Superman and Lois, and they have the kids, and one of the kids I think is gay or something. I don't know because I haven't watched the show.
Yeah,
but they're.
I might like that one then. I just haven't seen it.
And I get it, and I think they even tried to do this with Henry Cavill's character in kind of the darker versions of Superman, because now you see a little bit more of his upbringing and like the conflict that he had within himself, knowing that he had these powers and he wasn't able to use them and had to hide, who he was and things like that. So I think they're trying to make him seem a little bit more human and not so godlike.
Well, the hard part about that is two things were based on the same theory. And that was Nietzsche's theory of the Overman. You got Superman on one hand, and on the other, you got Hitler. So that's what came out of that for some reason. But that's fact right there. And that's always been a little bit weird to me. Do what?
Then you have the Injustice universe where, oh my.
See, as a villain, he makes sense. Honestly, his character makes sense when he's a villain. And when he's a bad guy, I tend to actually, I'm okay with those issues and those shows and stuff like that.
Okay, so going back to Smallville, as I was trying to say before Ron jumped in, was that I had the biggest fan crush on Chloe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But then all of that cult stuff started coming out. And I'm like, oh, jeez. I know how to pick them, don't I?
That's like when I was trying to decide who I related to most in Yellow Jackets and was like, oh, her. Wow, no, not her. Okay,
Yellow Jackets is fantastic.
It was actually the two of you that got me to watch that finally, because you guys were talking about it so much. Like, let me give it a shot. And I'm so hooked. I watched like 2 seasons were out when I watched. I don't know if there's a third one out yet, but 2 were out when I watched it, and I watched them like I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 days. I just couldn't stop watching it.
Great show, great 90s stuff.
I just started watching Andromeda.
Like, oh, wow. You're talking about that, yeah.
Yes, Andromeda.
That is cheeseball, but fascinating cheeseball.
But it was so good when it first came out, I mean, now you can watch it and say it's kind of cheeseball, especially when you start getting into like the 4th season, where I think they started to jump the shark a little bit. But I think that they brought it back on track with the final season, the 5th season, because they knew that the show was going to be ending and wouldn't be picked back up. So they made it more planet side so they could save on cost of sets and things like that. But the storyline in the 5th season is really good. And they tried to wrap it up because they knew they only had a limited number of episodes left.
Well,
I think the term you're looking for is jumping the space shark.
I can't. Right. You can't really have a character like Tyr, who's just mind you, I'm like only 9 episodes in for the first season, and I'm like, does he actually go beyond the whole I'm stoic and brooding and Nietzschean and yada yada yada?
So you don't know what happens around the 4th season then?
No.
Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you then.
Okie dokie.
Let's just say that Tyr has very much a change of character, and the actor Keith Hamilton Cobb that played Tyr, he did not agree with the direction that the character was going, which ultimately caused him to leave the show, and he got a job with the soap opera Young and the Restless.
Oh, wow.
And they will mention that in the series.
That he got a job at Young and the
Restless.
I see.
Wow.
Well, it was either that or the other Gene Roddenberry show, the Earth's Final Conflict, which is also on Tubi, by the way. So
I started watching it, but I haven't. I mean, it's been a while too, so I haven't seen it because I think it came on before Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. Around the same time frame, but I didn't finish it like I did Andromeda.
But all I remember is watching the first few episodes of Andromeda and thinking she was in Jason X.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's the reason why Lisa Ryder and Lexa Doig were both in Jason X, but their roles were reversed, where Lexa plays Rami, the android, in the show, and Lisa Ryder plays Becca Valentine, but the roles were reversed in Jason X, where Lisa Ryder plays the droid and Lexa plays the captain.
Her nipples fall off.
Something like that,
so
it's been a while since I've watched Jason X.
You should. It's also on Tubi.
They were actually using that movie to reboot the entire franchise. That was the point of them getting dropped off on Earth 2 at the very end. They were going to reboot the whole thing because of the lawsuits. This was the original reboot plan. And then that's around when the lawsuits finally started actually happening in courts, and that's how long it's been since we've had a sequel.
Jeez.
And it's surprising we even got the remake that we got. Honestly, that was not.
Where can you go with that? If you drop Jason back on Earth, and now he's half cybernetic android, so he's definitely going to be even more unstoppable now.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't technically cybernetic, really. I mean,
they did the whole nanobot makeover thing,
but they were bio nanobots, which I guess is how they classified it differently. Because the point was, once he re-entered our atmosphere, he was going to reassemble as Jason should be. That was, as stupid as that sounds, that was literally their plan.
I'd have to see how they play that one out because I don't know if that would be possible.
And they were going to drop the younger Jason because that was part of the lawsuit was, he created the character of Jason, just not like Jason where he's the serial, killer with the mask and the machete that we know. So they were going to be able to wipe his actual background about, the kid stuff, the drowning in the lake. And it was just like a full reboot with all the stuff they could legally do to get around the lawsuits.
But I do say that Jason X variant looks badass.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting movie.
It was
for space.
It was the last.
All I can remember is when he ran into the I don't even know what to call it. The hologram, and it's just like
he was trying to kill them, and they were just like hologram.
Yeah, that's the only thing
that shit was funny as hell.
The very end of it too, or was it? Yeah, the very end of it too sticks out, but the rest of it, big blur.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why you got to rewatch it.
Maybe you can put it on your tomb list, Jason X.
Well, the problem is it's not a terrible movie.
It's not. It actually it's a Hollywood production. It made a fuck ton of money. Actually, it made a lot of money. Yeah.
I don't think that Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies is that bad either, but here we are. I guess I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
I'll be right back, guys.
It's also interesting because when they the initial version of the script for Jason vs. Freddy, like the best version of the script they didn't make, they were doing this whole thing with the drug. This sleep drug was going to be like kind of shoved out into the world like through like aerosol, and it was going to affect this giant area, like pretty much all of the area around Elm Street, all of Springfield, Ohio, basically, which is basically Springfield and Medway. That's where the actual stories come from Elm Street, Freddy, and Camp Crystal Lake, Ohio. So that whole area, which they'd already established many times, was going to get this aerosol attack, basically, and they were all going to be living in waking nightmares. So like you had all these different people that were participating and getting infected by this, but Jason gets infected by it, and him and Freddy are at the mall, and there's a standee of Jason X, and the standee comes to life, and Jason has to fight himself.
Okay.
I would like that.
So you're saying that Camp Crystal Lake is located in Ohio?
I thought it was supposed to be New Jersey.
So
because
that's the Girl Scout camp that they filmed it at. It was in New Jersey.
Explain how they were able to make it to New York in a boat.
Yeah, I even looked that up on a map, and as far as I can tell, there's like nothing that goes from like where Crystal Lake is supposed to be in New Jersey all the way over to the Hudson River in New York. I literally couldn't find any way that a yacht would be. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
There's so much like weird, like so. There's original stories about Frederick Krueger. It was a serial killer in Springfield, Ohio. Actually lived in a house on Elm Street. He worked at a factory, a local factory. It wasn't like a school or anything like that. And he had murdered some kids in his neighborhood and like basically burnt them to death in the incinerator at the factory. He was found out. Basically, they burned his house down. End of story. That was it. That was like the little kernel of what the truth was. And for the Voorhees family, and they're related through marriage, Voorhees and the Krueger families. It was just very similar to the original story. A little boy had a lot of severe mental and physical illness. They thought he had drowned in the lake. The mom went crazy, killed some people, got killed. It was the whole problem. But in that lake over there used to be 4 or 5 different lakes, and there's a really strong undercurrent. And it encompassed a lot of distance back then. And he ended up getting sucked into the undercurrent and spit out on a lake much farther away. And he was so, gone mentally challenged. He did not know his mother's name other than mom. He did not know his address. He was that bad off. And a fisherman actually found him and took care of him. And then later in life, he kind of, there you go. He somewhat pieced together what had happened a little bit to the best of his knowledge. But in his brain, he thought the people that killed his mother were still the same people that were going to be camping now, like 30 years later. He went back and killed, like, I think 1 or 2 people, and then actually did fall in the lake and drown for real. There's a plaque out there on the lake that says the date that they thought he drowned and then the date that he actually drowned.
Oh man,
it's a sad story, but it's a real Darwin Award scenario though at the same time. And like you can literally drive from one to the other in the same exact amount of time and distance, seeing the same things that you would see on the side of the road that they do in Jason vs. Freddy. Right down to Pat Martha's, the bar. That's actually a bar over in Camp Crystal Lake.
I lived on Elm Street in Hooper when I was growing up, and at the top of the hill was the cemetery.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was like, and my name is.
They put a housing development up there, but forgot to move the bodies.
No, it was actually since my birthday's Halloween, we would go up there as kids for the slumber party to try to sneak around in our pajamas, and and they were like, the police would come and be like, "You kids got to get out of here!" Chase us out. Fine,
I think everybody did that in high school at one point.
Oh no, we were little ones.
Still kind of probably do that.
Mom had rented Thriller, the video for us because it had just come out, and then we all decided we don't really care for Michael Jackson that much. But when the Thriller video was out, it was like, "Ooh, that's cool because it has Vincent Price in it! Yay!" Or at least that's how it was.
Oh yeah.
We can have an Owlite Network pajama party in a graveyard, and everybody, Raz will teach us the Thriller dance.
I know the Thriller dance.
I know the Thriller dance.
I was in show choir. I know the Thriller dance. I can do Ice Ice Baby too, but I have to get super ripped to do that one.
13 going on 30 has the Thriller dance.
I like that movie actually. I really actually like that movie. It's funny to me. So
we have our own Crystal Lake.
Yep. 2 things you'll find in a lot of different places: Camp Crystal Lake and Elm Street. There's actually a joke about it. And Friday, Six Final Nightmare, every town has an Elm Street because literally every town has a.
That's the one with Roseanne Barr and John Goodman, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
they're just abandoned all pretenses and went 100% comedy.
So Jenny, have you been watching anything lately since we haven't like ever let you
I've been
speak yet?
watching
I've tried to get her to a couple
Mickey Mouse,
times.
and every time I try, somebody else starts talking. So
Talk
I just
louder.
like write my own comments, and
So have you
Terry
guys
finally figured out.
You should kill
Okay,
Jeremy just right now.
Assassination Classroom and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
It
Those are
sounded
the
like you
two
said
things I have.
assassination classroom. That's what I heard over here.
I did say Assassination Classroom. This dude changed himself into this weird tentacle squid being. He blew a hole in 70% of the moon, and he decided he wanted to be a teacher. And so he's teaching the students everything you're supposed to teach them as a teacher and how to be assassins.
Because the timing on when you said it, like Jeremy jokingly interrupted you and you're like an assassination class. I was like, whoa, you're going to kill Jeremy.
No. I don't want to hear kill Jeremy. I want to hug Jeremy.
But secretly
Is
stab him 20
Assassination
times in the
Classroom,
kidney.
Is that an anime?
Yes.
Okay.
Oddly enough, it has Krillin as the main squid teacher thing.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Assassination
it's
Classroom.
fun. It has no demons, so
I might actually watch
like
it then. Yeah, I might actually like it.
Well, if you sign into my Prime, you can watch it because I got the whole thing when it was $5 a season.
Cool. I might check that out.
All right, guys, I got to call it a night. I have to get Mom to her doctor's appointment at 8 the next morning. So
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Night,
sir.
Mom.
We love you.
Joining.
And James.
See you guys Monday.
Yep. Gotta make sure we watch the movie Abraham Lincoln vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to go do a screen capture of the thing and put it up on everywhere.
I actually just started watching it right before this podcast.
Oh yeah. I had seen it when it first came out, and then once, like I think, like 3 or 4 years ago, a friend of mine's in it. Somebody that I have done a movie with before.
Look, we can see ourselves.
Yeah, I have actually seen it before, and I did watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter first, which is what kind of turned me on
I've
to
seen that.
That was the Hollywood one, though. Like Vampire Slayer is very, very
wasn't
low
bad.
budget indie.
It wasn't bad though.
Yeah, the Vampire Slayer was really good. It was based on a graphic novel series, if I remember correctly.
I'm withholding my comments about versus zombies until we do the show.
Yeah.
There. Speaking of shows, we do have to tell everybody while we're still here what our new lineup is going to be. I was moving buttons down here. I'm like, oh, layout, group layout, do this one. I don't know.
Well, Mondays are the easiest. That's going to be Tomb of the Terrible and Legends by Night, alternating Mondays for the whole winter season.
Yes. And Sundays we will be doing the Owlite Societies, which are the campfires where we hang out and tell stories. We have those planned for the next 2 Sundays in December, and then we're taking time off because it's holidays each night.
Yeah.
So we might throw a padded cell one night, but if we do, it's just kind of a random we need to podcast kind of thing.
It's
we'll
a therapy.
Getting some more people on the clutch. Hopefully we'll be doing some more Unwrapped. And we're also going to try to be putting in the art of storytelling as soon as Raz and I get around to rewriting all of the scripts and making sure that we have better notes and stuff than we did the last time.
Yeah.
And we have been looking forward to introducing, there'll be on Thursdays. We have, well, yours do the unprinted pages. You're doing yours kind of whenever it works for guests, right? But
yes, I've been trying to schedule them on Thursday, so I ask them which Thursday they want and work around that.
Okay.
Sometimes it changes, and then I just try to do it around whatever show is on.
And we're also doing a new show. We're breaking out. Well, he'll tell you a little bit about Legends by Night, but another show that we're going to do, we've been doing the Clutch of Personalities, and that was, it's a lot of fun. We're bringing usually storytellers, and I've been focusing on authors and comic book authors. And we thought that we'd put in one filmmaker so far, and we started thinking, there are a lot of filmmakers out there, people who are actors and stuff that we could probably get on and tell us about what it's like behind the set of a movie and how they tell the stories. So we're going to give it its own show. And what did we decide to call that?
Oh my god! Like we had a big conversation. You did a graphic for it.
Picture show.
Yeah, the Elliott picture show. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're gonna be bringing that in as soon as we have somebody super exciting lined up for the first episode already. So we'll tell you that when we get it up on the schedule.
Yeah.
And
winter is for gaming. We will be starting the gaming thing after the holidays for sure. Like we decided for sure it was going to be the winter season because Han's over. I don't have a lot of. I'm not moving right now, and Han's over. So.
Yeah, and if you guys see our links up above or down below, depending on where you are, if you go to our website or go to our Twitch, we would really love to build up the subscribers on our Twitch channel because that's where we want to do the gaming. And if we can get up to 50 subscribers started, it'll start building up the channel points and people can use them. And the way that we're going to do our gaming is it's going to be an RPG. You're going to see us playing the different characters, but you guys get to be involved in that. You can spend points like that, or if you want to invest money, you don't have to. Yeah, you can save up your channel points just by watching. They just accumulate as you're there. But you can either spend channel points or or actually invest and subscribe and stuff like that, and spend other points toward, I think they call them bits, towards having things happen in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can either like improve somebody's upcoming rolls, or if the party is dying, you can spend some points and a magical fairy will come down and drop a healing potion on someone's head or something like that.
It's
and
the Hunger Games version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, you can sponsor somebody as you're watching us play.
And we'll have like sponsor menus too. Like if you're doing the channel points, like the free channel points, we'll have like a menu for that. If you're gonna actually invest money in it, then we'll have I'll let you name a whole town, or something crazy will happen, or an NPC, or we'll make an NPC design one after you, that kind of stuff.
So viewers will actually have an effect on how the game is played.
Yeah.
Yes. Viewers get to affect the game.
Yep.
And we have our Discord channel all set up in there. Look for it. You should be able to just link right over or go to our website and get the link there. We have all the channels set up so you can discuss things that are going on there. And you can affect how things are going in the game if you aren't able to watch it live by watching on that and watching it afterwards and discussing with us on Discord how how you want to have things happen. So,
yep, we'll definitely have chats about that for sure.
We'll have ways to we'll explain how it goes there once we get it on the Discord, once we get the show going. But so if you aren't able to make it live some week, but you do want to do stuff, it's gonna be so much fun.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Random streams of followers.
Yeah, I have been hanging out in different follower streams and talking and chatting as I find them up when I have time during the day.
Nice.
Yeah. And if you're somebody who's interested in being one of our storytellers, joining us either on the Campfire Nights or on a Clutch or on a Owlite Picture Show, got to get used to that one still, contact us. Let us know.
Yeah.
We would like
to
hear from
whisper or message or comment on something,
Yeah.
and we can
Send an owl.
Yes, and then owl.
Yes, send an owl.
And
You're a wizard, Harry.
if you'd like to explain Legends by Night, since it's
And we
just
drink out of owls.
Yes. So Legends by Night is the original concept of this show was like Coast to Coast with Art Bell and George Norrie. It's a show that's all about like the paranormal things in the world. One episode could be cryptids, one could be aliens. There could be 50,000 episodes about aliens or cryptids. It's just kind of whatever flavor of the paranormal we feel like talking about that day. And any guests that we have will be like people that have had experiences with these things. If you pop up in the chat and you say, I had this great experience, we might even bring you on the show live to tell us what that experience was, to kind of keep in the vein of the call-in show kind of vibe. A lot of the guests we have will also be haunters from different haunts around the globe that also happen to have experiences with the paranormal as well. So you'll definitely see me on there a lot. Me and Jenny are the hosts. We got Ron popping in whenever he wants. We've had Pyle. I know Pyle's got some good cryptid stories. So it won't always be the same haunters and guests, but
And we already have 3 fan videos sent in to join.
Nice. I'm excited about this because that's going to be one of our big fan video shows that we're going to show you the videos you make and stuff as well, which is super cool.
And we will also do fan videos if you want to for the Owlite Society Campfire. You just make sure the story it's either your own or you have permission to tell it.
Yeah, and you can prove to us that you've got permission.
Yeah, we don't want any copyright violations, but if you're somebody who either can't make
Did you guys get any?
shows or
Oh no, we've never had one.
No,
we've never had a violation. No.
Oh, nice.
We're really really paranoid about that stuff, so we vet everything like beforehand. And
I verified every video before I brought it up. It was their actual stories. Considering I know the people, I was able to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just if we get people in the future that aren't our friends that are sending them in.
Yep. We just gotta vet them.
Yeah.
But we have lots of fun storytellers come on, so be one of them. Join us.
To be honest, whatever you do in life or whatever your interests are, we probably have a show for you. Either as a, on a guest level, a fan level, or a show you can send stuff into or come interact with us. Like, we're to this point now. we already on our own cover so many things, and like joining with the Dorkening, I don't think there's literally anything that's not covered on the whole network.
Yeah. Go look at the Owlite stuff. Look at the Dorkening stuff too.
Yeah.
Holy
like it's
crap.
between all of us, man.
Manage so many.
Yeah.
There's so many different shows, and any topic you like, even very niche. There's something there.
Even Tom Dog's got some shows on Dorkening now.
Yeah. And Hinata, by the way, declared herself the CEO of the Owlite Network earlier, so she is coming up to have her say.
I was making sure Crowley wasn't over here. Nope, he's in the bed.
Hinata.
The cat executive officer.
Yes.
Yeah, Crowley's my office manager. That's what I call him when he's over here.
Yeah. Nada was up earlier and she purrs so loud that you can sometimes hear her through the mic. So it's not my furnace, it's my cat.
Your cat is just making sure everything is perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Because
Drew was still here, he would have told me to get out.
Between the Thanksgiving holiday, what you're thankful for, this whole spirit of Christmas, I kind of want to talk about for a minute about like what this means. I guess from my point of view, the whole working with the Dorkening now. I've been in radio since 1999 is when I started my career in radio.
Oh wow.
Radio broadcasting. Between going to my first college, my first college. Geez, that sounds terrible. My first college was my degree in broadcasting, and having done this on either on an internet radio station, actual radio stations, talk shows, different podcasting networks. Like I've been at this for a super long time, and I feel like every time I get going with podcasting again, I learn something new. I get farther with it, and to me, like, I'm obviously, I'm getting older. I'm not alone in that. And I don't think I have a lot of opportunities left to like really make a solid run at this, which is something I love to do, especially with you guys. So to get this opportunity, like at this point in my life now, when I have the time to sit down and like really do something with all of this, but to do it not only with you guys, but with the backing of another network that are, people just like we are, they're just as passionate as we are, just as kind and friendly as we are. It's a solid match. It's a place that makes you feel like you've got backup. Like we got Dumbledore's army now. You know what I mean? It's that kind of feeling. It's the community feeling. That's the part of it that I think is the most special about this whole arrangement. It just expands great communities already. And just I live in a house.
Drew is a Hufflepuff, actually.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have no idea what I am.
I'm the Slytherin borderlining Ravenclaw.
Same. But we're the Weasley twins, so
yeah.
We're gonna be.
I'm House Wolf. That's what I am.
But yeah, it's super cool because we got Deadly Grounds now. On top of that, that's so cool, man. Because I know we've been working on a lot of sponsors and stuff in the background that we're trying to bring out there. But it gives us a lot more opportunities to do a lot more of what we already love to do. But now we also have the capability to get out and do cons, which is something we had whole meetings about last year, and we made little minor announcements about wanting to get out there and meet people and do things. So I don't know, it's just getting to do what we love just on like a times 10 sort of scale, and that's super awesome, man. And we've only been in network on our own for 6 months.
Yes.
What's up, Jenny?
I just realized I'm in the proper place that I can pat his head. Here, Scritchies.
I think like almost a year ago today, we were doing a Christmas show like for another network, and it was a great show. It was great time over there. It's just being able to realize that and get out there, and 6 months, man, like that's not a lot of time to do what we've done, and it's hard to digest sometimes that it's only been 6 months.
It's been 6 months, and we have 150 episodes up or so, and some of those are snip-offs of other shows.
I'm about to look at that number because I always forget what the number is. It keeps raising when I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, and we're also going to be sending out, Leo's going to be helping us get things set up so that we will be on audio podcast stations like
Spotify,
that's one of them, and Amazon Prime and all that. All those different podcast places that I don't go to very often, unless I'm listening to something on the Dorkening. Usually,
I use Podcast Addict as my go-to podcast streamer because it just pulls from the library where the hosts.
Their RSS feeds.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too. That's what I use.
I use Prime just because I have it and I'm comfortable with it, but I might as well use it since I'm paying for it. But we're gonna have all those out, and you'll be able to go through and listen to like the Owlite, the entire campfire, or the individual stories as well. If you want like somebody to tell you stories as you're falling asleep, we'll have that ready to go, so you don't have to have the YouTube video playing if you're more of an
audio file.
Yeah, I don't word.
This is video 144, by the way, the one we're doing right now. Well, this will be our 144th video when it's done. And over the next couple weeks, there'll be another like 20, 30 videos up because I got to go back and do all the shorts that I haven't had the time to do from a lot of our longer stuff.
And we might be adding a couple of extra YouTube channels just to set some of the more niche stuff off on its own so that we can focus on different things in different places. But that's all going to be things that we're getting a bigger education. We learned a lot coming together as our own network, and now we're learning how to expand upon that even better. And we have some great support behind us now, so that's awesome.
We're like the $1 Million Man or the $1 Billion Man or whatever it is. We're going to remake you stronger and better and faster. Like that's basically what's happening with us right now.
We have the technology.
Yeah, now we have the
$6 million man.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. All I can but it's Michael Scott right now
on a $50 budget.
I'm calling it a night, guys. I have to go walk the doggos and stuff. It was fun.
That's a code phrase.
How can you walk me, Jeremy, when I'm right here?
Oh, go walk the dogs.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If you're still here, maybe I'll come back.
Okay.
Hey. Well, I'm going to be leaving soon too because I'm like. I haven't really been social, and I do apologize for that.
You're good.
Because I've been yes, and I'm watching the Game Awards right now, and so that's part of my topic for tonight. And
we'll remind everybody like what time it starts so they can we'll be done before you start so they can leave here and go to you.
Well, I have it set so that I always turn on the camera like around 5 of, but I'm always late for my own show. So I don't know why. I was supposed to be, and it's like I was able to do the show early, and I still wound up doing my show late. And I was like, I don't even know how the hell that was possible. But
So tell them where to go. Tell everybody to go when they leave here. Where do they go?
Oh, absolutely. The Tom Arcade 69 Brill Pro channel. Tom Dog all day, every day, and more importantly, you got to face hug that subscribe button. So yeah, but we're gonna be doing that. We'll do that when I leave. I don't have to leave just yet because I'm still
cool.
And they got the guy. All right now the guy. There's a guy right now. I guess he's the one that's playing Wonka, and so I have this thing on mute. So I had to darken the screen because it was getting there was like a lot of flashing lights and everything like that. So I was like, so yeah, I don't want to. because there was like, yeah, it was like the background here was looking like a little like a little party going on. If I were to turn off the lights, you would have saw it like it was like a disco and everything like that. So, but but overall the show is pretty good, and I'm going to give out the results later on. Plus, also my thoughts on the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer that popped up on early, so I'm going to talk up a little bit about that. Also, the Godzilla Kong trailer that came out too.
So good.
And
I still need to watch that trailer.
Yeah. Oh, you got to.
What is this Godzilla -1 that I have playing right now? What's the -1? I haven't even seen a trailer for it. I know nothing about it.
It's Godzilla.
I saw the trailer of it. It looks awesome. But the movie is, from what I understand, it's been a lot better.
So they're getting back to the roots of Godzilla, which is like more of the horror sci-fi. Like they're going back to like what made Godzilla.
Yeah.
Less
Plus, also this is done and it's done by Toho, so you know it's good.
Yeah.
So it's worth checking out then.
Oh yeah.
From what I understand, this is like, it's already considered the best Godzilla movie.
Huh, interesting.
And okay, they're doing all right. I'm sorry, I'm just like distracted right now because they're doing. I think they're doing the game of the year right now.
Oh, gotcha.
This is the last award of the night. So,
gotcha.
And so yeah, pretty good winners, but I have it on mute because of the fact that there's music playing in the background. You know, there's music in there, and I don't want to get copyrighted or anything, and I don't want you guys to get copyrighted either. You know, because even though that's a live broadcast, and I'm doing I guess you could say I'm doing so if I'm doing this is because of the fact that my prediction was correct.
Okay.
So right. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. It looks like right now it's game of the year. Oh, I will say this though, because I'm not gonna address it on my show, but I'll leave it for you guys. Hideo Kojima is doing another game. Is working on a new game, and he's doing a collaboration with Jordan Peele.
Interesting.
to make a good horror video game. And they showed first look of it. It looks amazing. Also, too, Blade is going to be a video game as well.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
And
the movie got pushed back, but they're trying to get back on schedule because they did that the soft announcement for potentially who Ghost Rider is going to be. That's been all anybody can talk about this week. Norman Reedus. That's been the big push.
Really?
It's not like guaranteed in stone, but like that's the word around town right now.
Norman Reedus for Ghost Rider?
That's the big buzz right now. Disney officials aren't like coming out and saying, "Oh, this is what it is definitely happening," but the sources this is coming from have been right about everything they've sourced so far. So
yeah,
it's a fairly good bet at this point in time, but we can't trust it until we see it in the movie. Speculation is fun, but it's still just speculation.
I might watch the movie then.
Apparently, Nick Cage will also be doing something. Well, because they're doing the multiverse stuff. Where they're
I thought I did a good Ghost Rider. I see Delphine over there rolling her eyes at my superior intellect.
But yeah, they're doing that multiverse thing when they're wrapping up a lot of people, a lot of different storylines.
It's frightening because I can do that voice.
Did you see the new set pictures that Ryan Reynolds leaked? Where it's him and Hugh Jackman next to each other, and all you see from behind is the Predator. You see like the Predator dreads, like the whole outfit. Like he posted it.
I did not see that, but it looks. I could tell that it looks funny. I cannot wait for Deadpool 3. I really cannot wait for that.
The schedule, and it's currently the only Marvel movie coming out in 2024 now. So
yes,
but the scope of it, with who all they've confirmed, Holy shit! I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it is kind of sad that that's the only Marvel, and it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that's good too.
I have a feeling Deadpool 3 is going to break some box office records. I mean, you'd think Avatar made a shit ton of money, but I mean, I don't know. With the hype for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman for doing Deadpool 3, my God, it has the potential to be like the biggest moneymaker ever.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Marvel's already had, and since the Marvel Universe really started, like MCU, they've already had 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time, and I agree with you. I think this is going to beat it. This is going to be the number one for years to come.
And not only that too, this marks Hugh Jackman as the only actor who has reprised his superhero character.
That's true.
Without no one else has ever replaced him as Wolverine, and
we thought we were getting a replacement. They were setting up, I forget her name now, to be the female Wolverine in New Mutants, and that ended up not happening. But she's going to be actually in Deadpool 3 as that character.
It is possible that they can cast somebody else because I mean, supposedly Logan did die at the end of Logan,
but that was also an alternate reality, and we knew it was an alternate reality.
They're doing multiverse stuff now. Then it's possible to cast somebody else as Wolverine in an alternate universe.
Did you see who they're looking at for that?
Okay with that.
There's been some.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's been some concept art of what Daniel Radcliffe would look like playing Wolverine.
Apparently, it's more than concept art. He's already been spotted, like on record, having meetings down with Disney and Marvel. Like, I got to be honest with you. I never thought for a second, like, I don't doubt Daniel Radcliffe. Like, since he stopped being Harry Potter, he went to being nude on Broadway to playing,
especially if you watch Guns Akimbo.
Dude, Guns Akimbo, Swiss Army Man, like. He
even there was a scene in Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Oh God!
Where he has
mentioned that,
where he has a shirt off and he looks ripped.
No, he is like legit.
I was like,
actually
holy
ripped.
Shit!
And he's about the right height. If he can just bulk up a little more, man, like I think he could play a young. Like a young Wolverine, I think.
But I don't know how that would work because he doesn't really have a deep voice, though.
I just can't see him with a cigar saying "bub."
Look at the pictures.
That's what I'm saying because he
have him like and that's his actual body that's ripped like that in the pictures. Like that's actually him without his shirt off because he does that show Miracle Workers, and there was a scene where he had his shirt off, and that's where the initial picture comes from before they added the Wolverine part. But they've got like the cigar in his mouth and everything, and it. Like you look at it, you would not think it would be good, and then you see it, and you're like,
maybe
what? And then you're in disbelief for a moment, then you realize, okay, yeah, that might be okay.
Well, I mean, maybe he knew, in advance that he might be doing the role of Wolverine, so he started putting on the muscle.
It was for some other projects. Yeah, it was confirmed that it was for some other projects that have already come out that he's been doing, and it was for some stuff he was doing in Miracle Workers, which is a great comedy fucking TV show, by the way.
I think
if you've ever wanted to see him in drag dancing and like, yeah.
Danielle.
Things, but
I'll just say she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes and leave it at that.
I also didn't expect to see Tom Holland in drag, so
yeah.
I mean, if Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo and
Wesley Snipes,
if they can do it and pull it off in Tu Wong Fu, then why not?
If they did it in modern one, honestly, I would put him in it. Like,
I helped with the crew getting set up for some things there.
Oh yeah.
So that was the train scene.
Yeah.
We have.
I'm convinced he can do anything though. Like I really truly think that he's one of those actors that went from being the kid actor to his addiction and his very anger issues there for a while to like now he's mellowed out. He's got a family. He's got a kid now. Finally. So like I don't know. I think he can do anything as far as acting goes. He's one of those kids that just got it together finally and really did something with acting and like impressed the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad for Robert Pattinson because he, to this day, no matter what that man has done, and I comment he's a man these days, even though he's so much younger than me, like he had a hard time breaking away from Cedric and Harry and what's his name in Twilight. Edward in Twilight. Like, everybody still calls him that, but if you really look at what Robert Pattinson's done, even his Batman was amazing, and I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime.
he actually, and this is the thing that I'm always, whenever it comes with whenever there's like a new Batman, I've always been my take on this. I've always been very leery about who's going to play Batman because. However, I didn't make that mistake when Michael Keaton was playing Batman. I said, okay, that it looks pretty interesting.
He's the bar that I put all Bruce Wayne's and Batman's up against is Michael Keaton.
Yeah. And then Val
Kilmer raised the bar though.
Who?
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah.
For the Dark Knight series.
Yeah, I agree with you that.
I thought he did a good job, but I just thought he needed a throat lozenge whenever there was a Batman. Whenever he was the Batman.
My thing with that is the first two are great. The third movie was an absolute piece of shit, but that's not Bale's fault or anyone else's fault.
Hockey pits.
It was the writing. The writing was so ungodly bad in part 3 that it kind of. I'll still watch the first two over and over. I just won't watch the third one.
Well, my take on Robert Pattinson playing the Batman, I actually quite liked it because if you think about it, it's supposed to be Batman in the early years before he really, started working out and putting on the muscle and became a competent fighter.
Mm-hmm.
He's not technically adept at everything yet, and I think Pattinson portrays that perfectly. He's still brooding over the loss of his parents and all of that. And Pattinson's great for that kind of dark broodiness.
I agree.
think that he did a really good job.
I just
portraying that.
When I first thought about him playing the role, I mean, my first reaction was like, you know what, that doesn't really sparkle for me.
See, that just tells me that you didn't see The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
If you'd seen The Lighthouse before you saw that announcement, you'd have been like, fuck yes, what's he going to do for Batman? Because that's what it was like. He showed parts of himself in that movie as an actor and as a person that, like, once you see him in that, you cannot unsee it, and it will automatically change your opinion of him, like, just immediately.
Yeah.
So I saw that before obviously before I saw him as Batman, but like as soon as I saw Lighthouse, I was pumped. I was okay, let's see what he can do. And he did not disappoint me at all.
Oh yeah, he totally made me wrong. I mean, I was really impressed by that movie. It's like I'm really glad that they're making a sequel with him in it.
People give him credit for because he got so early.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, I absolutely loved. Yeah, I absolutely love the Batman. I absolutely, that movie was awesome. I mean, it gave the Riddler a darker version of what we know.
I call that Saul Riddler. Watching a Saul movie.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It was really awesome. Mm-hmm. Catwoman, I gotta say, could have been better, but I'm sure it'll grow in time. Which I am sure of. But when it came to, of course, what the hell is that actor's name who played Penguin?
Oh crap! Yeah.
Colin Farrell. Farrell. He put. I did not. It's like he did not look like. I was like, I thought it was some other actor. It's like with the makeup that they did for Colin Farrell as Oswald.
He was no Danny DeVito, but he was pretty good.
Yeah, it was awesome makeup work. And from what I understand on this sequel, I'm hearing rumors about who I don't know if it's been announced on who the villain is, like the main villain.
I think it's supposed to be Scarecrow, isn't it?
That's what I heard.
I heard Dr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I mean, they could do more than one villain, though. They do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I saw some concept art of what Mr. Freeze would look like in the Batman 2, and it looks amazing. It looks a hell of a lot. It kind of looks like what he would look like if with the how he looked in
if
the
he wasn't
animated.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right, but it was more like the concept. The concept art was kind of similar to what the animated series of
Gotcha.
and it looks and they with the glass dome and everything, and
Nice.
it actually looks really good, and he has like and it looked more like you got to find that concept art because it has like is something that technically would have looked like if Tim Burton was still on board to playing doing the production of the Batman movies.
Nice. I will say
that's how it looked like, and it looks really amazing.
What I really want to happen is Tim Gunn to be like, how these were Elseworlds projects? Well, because the actors are younger and we have more longevity, we're just going to go ahead and make him Batman now. I would like that very much. I'd appreciate that as a fan. And there's Joker movies. There's the excellent Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, he's going to be Joker in this universe now too, because I actually really enjoy that.
And they're making another one too. And Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn.
Yep. It's already been made. They're just waiting to release it. I would love if they just wrap that into the new.
Now that the Hollywood and writer strikes are over, they can go and promote that movie now.
Yep.
If you guys want to read a really fucked up, really dark Batman Riddler story, pick up. It's a single issue, Batman One Bad Day, the Riddler, and there's a whole chunk of the Batman One Bad Days. And we read the Riddler first, and it set this bar so high, and it was just so incredibly dark that the rest of them were just like, okay, these are good comics, but wow, but that one seriously, it had the level of fuckery with it that it kind of that you got with the Alan Moore story, but which one was that? I can't remember the name of it for some reason. All of a sudden, the Alan Moore Batman story. That
my Texans can look it up for you real quick.
okay.
Killing Joke.
Yeah, the Killing Joke, but it reaches that level of darkness in it. But it's all, and the artwork is just amazing as well. The way you have to pay attention to how they do certain panels and how things play out back and forth. Because if you're really paying attention to details, like every little thing counts. And which is something that I appreciated back, like in the Sandman days because all of the detail to artwork and stuff involved in making the Sandman, it's like that good of a story. So.
Nice.
And the rest of them, it's like bad days for other people. But this one, the Riddler, I've never thought of him as like, he's a cool villain at times, but he wasn't, he just did his thing and everything was okay. But, he, in the end, you solved my riddle. And in this one, it's just like, where are we trying to solve? What does this mean? What does this mean? And it's just like, it means nothing. It's all dark. He's going to get you. He's coming to get you, Batman.
That's what I like about that Batman movie, the way they treated him, because he was so dark and fucked up and murdering people that it's like, wow, this is a different version of Riddler, like way darker, and you solved this real cool. That means maybe only one or two less people died, or the person that just died horribly right in front of you. Yeah, that death could have actually been worse had you not have solved that, but they're gonna die anyway. It was epic as fuck, man.
Yeah, I can see like Riddler turning into Saw for a bit, and then,
that's literally what the movie was. Like they approached it like a Saw movie. It was so weird, good weird.
Yeah, so Riddler and John from Saw, what's his name, Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Like they'd be homies.
Oh, definitely. Like the way they did that movie, yes, 100%. It was so. There was even a Saw trap. I can't remember what Saw movie it was used on, but they used an actual Saw trap and just modified it for Gotham. But it was it was pretty messed up.
Nice.
I could see Riddler like accosting John, like, "That's a good trap, but here, let me show you how to make it better."
Yeah, where's the story behind your trap?
Give him a riddle to
puppet.
solve.
I need to give him a hat.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna give him a little hat.
When the movie came out, there was actually a website you could go to answer riddles, and you had to be able to answer all of them like consecutively, and they got harder and harder and harder. And if you could do it, you got to go to a special site. And there was a big group of people on Reddit that was literally like for days. A bunch of us would just sit there and type out different answers and try and figure out what all the riddles were. And the riddles were in the same order every time. But like once you got so many riddles, it would unlock something. And then when enough people in the world had solved all those riddles, the page unlocked and became something else. And it was all related to like weird, like esoteric stuff about Batman, like about the movie, like background stuff and like little important things where he was leaving you messages and sending you messages. And it was a pretty intense little side thing they did on this website. I hadn't seen that for a while.
That sounds like a great setup for a creepypasta story.
It was. That's what it felt like when we were all doing, because a lot of people on there also do like the no sleep, Reddit, which is how I found it. So like it was just a lot of people that were into the creepypasta and no sleep, like all doing this together and like trying to figure out what the messages meant. Well, in this story we read the other day, or this story that I wrote, this would have happened, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was really neat to unfold all that stuff. And after the movie came out, it changed again with some clues about what was going to happen in the sequel, and then the website died. It just went completely dark, and it doesn't exist now.
I hate that.
It was supposed to though, like it was meant to like be a, because like you're hacking basically.
It's like, yeah, we're going to tease you, and then surprise, we're gone. That's like the ultimate cliffhanger. You're left like, come on, man.
Apparently, it's going to come back as part of the stuff they're doing with the sequel as well. They're going to bring that a version of the site back with more information, because it wasn't just about the Riddler either. It was also about Batman and all kinds of other weird stuff, because you were hacking and Batman would hack in, and then the Riddler would hack in, and
that's cool.
Nice.
It was neat.
People who take full advantage of the technology that we have, it's so cool when they do that. Like that's a problem I have with writing these days, is that how do you make people, you have to put very extreme circumstances on things for people to not just be able to pull out a cell phone and, oh, I'm safe. Oh, this is over. Yeah. Oh, I need to solve this thing. I looked it up on the internet.
Human ignorance and laziness. You know how many people go out in the phone age? Oops, I didn't charge my phone. It's at like 5%. Or I just dropped it. There goes my screen. Like, I think there are just as many easy ways to not have a phone.
But it feels like you're forcing it sometimes when you have that. I don't know. So that's why I write most of my stuff.
If you lived in the household I live in,
that they don't.
If you lived in this household, all the representations I have every single day of one of the three of them or more losing the phone for a couple hours, dropping it, cracking their screens and it being useless, the screen burning out. Shit, I forgot to charge it and I got to go to work. Like, I am telling you, I do not feel like I'm overdoing the lack of phone situation at all, seeing all this. And I'm bad about charging the phone sometimes too. I do that as well. I can be bad about that. So it's actually pretty fucking normal, and people underuse it, I think. People are so worried about how, phones kill stories. Just look around the real world, man. There's also Reddit's dedicated to things that happen to phones.
If phones killed stories, we would not have a series called Black Mirror.
Not true.
I have not seen that yet either. Like this whole, every episode of things are Carrie Dell saying, I gotta watch that. That's on my list. Oh, I heard about that. I was interested. That's
my issue was season 1 of Black Mirror, which is why I won't watch the rest of Black Mirror, because it pissed me off as a writer and irritated me as a person so bad that I could not continue. And everybody I know that loves it tells me the same thing. Season 1 was kind of shit, but if you can start with season 2 and go on, the show's amazing. I just haven't been able to bring myself to.
Yeah, but they're all different stories, and
well, yeah,
there might be some crossover, but I don't think that they're all related. So, I mean, it's kind of
Well, they're not related, but it was like The production values were great. It was the type of stories they were telling in season 1 and the ridiculousness of some of them that just made me irritated. And a lot of them shared the same themes or were approached in the same way. Not that the stories were connected. So it was just kind of how they did the whole show. But then they also did that thing I really loved on Netflix, the Choose Your Own Adventure story they did. I don't know if you guys got to see that or not.
I saw some of the animated versions of the Choose Your Own
It's called
Adventure.
Bandersnatch. It's got some famous actors in it. It's an actual Choose Your Own Adventure movie.
Huh.
It was the first really big one that they did with Netflix, like really big one. And it is actually really fucking cool. And that I liked. So I might eventually go and start season 2 because I heard a lot of the way they handle a lot of stories and things changed and the content changes for 2. So I may get back into it.
How does that work? Like you just choose which episode you want to watch next based on what the previous one was?
No, it's a movie.
There's a prompt at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. A prompt pops up and asks you what you want to do.
Okay. Huh.
And
it's an interactive movie.
Yeah. They also have another one on there that's it's a wrestling one. It's the New Day versus Undertaker. That's another one they produced and put on.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
That one was really awesome.
Seen these. I'm gonna have to go look them up.
Oh yeah. But Bandersnatch is really it's worth your time. Like it's really well done. It's really interesting, cool. The acting is great. Everything about it is great. And the replayability is interesting because you'll hit a point where it'll let you rewind if you'd like to. It's like a little option so you can kind of see more options. But it's I don't rewind. I just go with whatever option I chose to kind of see how it turned out. I've done all the different versions with different groups of people. But it's neat how they did that one. I'm obsessed with Choose Your Own Adventure though too. So anything Choose Your Own Adventure I'm all about.
So it's 2.5 hours almost that we're into this, and Tom's going to have to leave because he has his own show to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe we should all head off from our big office party, our first show on the Dorkening. We don't want to hit like 5 hours like we've done before. Because
like a real office party.
We do. Yeah.
Like 5 hours, everybody's so drunk and there's.
But nobody's sitting on the copier machine.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you really want me to.
No one's been molested by their boss or, anything like that.
Last office party, I had my first sunrise and it was awesome.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to break out a bottle of wine, but I've just not been feeling like having anything lately. I'm just like, iced coffee, Coke Zero. That's it. All I need.
Yeah, I just downed my Coke Zero and
I'm drinking my
I should have brought out the Coke Zero with the Jack Daniels in it. But I'm going to do a special video on that. So
I'm drinking pre-workout.
There you go.
Yeah, because I got some reviews to do that I haven't had a chance to do yet, which is the Dunkin' Donuts hard tea drinks.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I haven't had a chance to do that yet, and I still have and I just recently got the Jack Daniels with the Coke that you can actually get them. I haven't tried it yet, and it's the Coke Zero because I'm a diabetic. So so it's going to be pretty interesting to try that. So those I would have to do. I have to age restrict those like big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw the ad for the Jack and Coke thing, but I haven't tried it yet. So I didn't know. I'm a little leery about it, but
they've had those around here for years, like canned beverages that are pre-mixed.
Yeah.
But they weren't
look pretty
like
cool.
Big names. They were just like Whiskey Coke by no name company.
I'm just surprised that Raz hasn't commented on my shirt yet.
Oh shit! I'm wearing a Hell's Dungeon shirt too. I didn't even see. I saw the color and I kept thinking, man, that shirt is Fred Hearn blue. That's what we call that color. I was like, why does it
nice?
Nice. I love it, man. That's fucking awesome. I just happened to put one on today too.
I don't have one, but
shame.
I will.
You know what I have that no one else has though? And I have it right over here by me, so you have to excuse the cat here. So for years, all I wanted was a flannel with HD on it because I don't wear jackets or hoodies. I wear flannels. And this year, I got got me some flannels.
Nice.
I got the cabin design on the back of it. That's one of our new designs.
There you go.
And
Nice.
then over my front pocket, if I can figure out where that is right now, because I actually have the Hell's Dungeon.
You had it.
Words, things. It's here, I think. Here we go. Yeah, I got that like over the pocket. So
Cool.
like I have two
Nice.
of these now
Show
with
the
like
back
different
again.
logos on the
Show the
back.
back again, Raz. Show
The
the back
back?
again.
Yeah.
Dang, man, you're gonna have to have me figure this out. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I think you can see it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. I want one.
Very cool.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. I do
I'm
too.
the only one in the world that has the flannels because that was a special thing I went and bought and made them make for me finally.
Nice.
I am soon going to be able to wear a t-shirt that either has to do with Rough House Publishing or Retro Redoctopus. Some way, shape, or form, it will be Steve Van Samson every day of the week because Rough House has just released some Black Honey t-shirts. So
Hell yeah.
go to their page, go to their merch stuff, hop off, grab yourself some t-shirts. The Rough House Publishing one is awesome, and the new Black Honey, there's a couple different designs. Those are great too. And then over there at Retro Redoctopus on you can find that through the Dorkening Network and stuff, but over on Facebook you can go and they have their TeePublic shop too, and they have a bunch of really cool shirts there.
In case you guys have forgotten, we have a t-shirt shop as well.
Yes, it's in our links.
We need to update that actually, probably, and do some more stuff with it soon.
Yeah, I need to add more shirts to it, but you can get some of our older shirts, and most, I think we have 4 or 5 of the current lineup shows, I think, going on it, but we need to make a couple new ones. Get everything up to date for folks.
And I'm definitely going to be adding like some kind of virtual store-ish where you can like pre-order some items and things like that on our website, probably starting next year. It's something we've looked at a lot. Like, I can do shoes now, hats, all kinds of different stuff. We were just waiting for things to get settled, but I do have all the machines here now, pretty much, to be able to like press things and make things. So we'll be able to make a lot of other cool shit too for everybody. So definitely keep an eye on it.
The Dorkening itself has a shop where you can get t-shirts from there. So you can wear your Dorkening shirt. There's a couple different kinds. Tom Dog is awesome and has one of the old school, like, Be Kind, Rewind, Blockbuster Video looking shirts.
I know. That's my favorite one. And
one that's kind of like a Nintendo. There's one I have that's a Pac-Man shirt as well. And
Pac-Man fever.
This is the only thing. This is the only shirt I have. I have no merch to sell. So
Real be pro.
And I had a different one. It's like older and it has I did it myself, and it's like has the shirt paint, the fabric paint on there, and I wore that one to my first visit to Terrificon, and Sam, the Flash Gordon actor, and I know, and I met him. He's a really cool dude, and it was like he looked at my shirt and he said, "That's a really cool shirt," and I said, "Thank you. I made it myself." And he was like, "What's the B stand for?" And it's like, and I told him that it's my YouTube channel, Real Pro, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And my business cards, because I have business cards made up, and so whenever I show up, whenever there's like an event going on, I'll hand out business cards to people and everything like that.
Jeremy, you assume I have one, man.
Sell your soul.
Jeremy,
I have no soul.
I think he's offering
But yeah, I would love to have a merch line and everything like that.
It's fun.
So,
I do. I just started making a bunch of shit on my own page that's on my own TeePublic, so you can get my favorite one. I'd been promising people, and this is how old I am. It took me this long to get this shirt made, but from way back, like 15, 20 years ago, I've been designing all the websites and everything for every game that I play. And so I was everybody'd ask questions. I'm like, use the fucking forums. I already answered that. Use the fucking forums. I swear to God, you guys, I'm gonna get t-shirts made. And now I have t-shirts made with like 4 different colors of ink, and you can choose whatever back color you want that just say use the fucking forums. And now it's like it should be like use the fucking Discord or something, but they're still count as forums to me.
Yeah, they like RTFM for read the fucking manual.
Yeah,
RTFM.
That was just my thing, and
I'll be right back, gang.
Well, we're probably going to be taken off, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking we should. So
yeah, we can wrap up.
Oh yeah.
Head out, but so Tom Dog, where do you want everybody to catch you in like 35 minutes or so?
Tom Arcade 69. That's where you find the Brill Pro channel on YouTube, and got a show lined up for tonight. As I mentioned before, I have the my review of the Video Game Awards and my thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer that came up, and some other fun stuff as well too, and always, as I always say, thumbs up the video if you like it. Comment down below. Live chat's going to be on. I'm going to have chat live and everything like that. So hope everybody checks that out and everything. Congrats again for being a part of the Dorkening, and yeah, it's really cool. And so I'll shout you guys out in the Dorkening later on my show, as I always do. And but for new subscriber, for new people joining in and everything like that, support small streamers like myself by doing the only thing that you could do for small streamers like myself, and that is face hug that subscribe button. So I will see. Oh my God, I almost closed out my own show and I didn't even start yet. But you will see me in about 15 minutes or so. Got to get everything set up and everything, and I'm gonna keep everything the way it is. So you're gonna see this and that crap in there. I'm not going to go to the screen because I don't have a video game review or anything like that. So yeah, so yeah. Take care, guys, and hope to see you on my show later on. And for everybody else, take care. So long. Peace.
Peace. Be good, Tom Dog.
All
right, Ron, where would you like people searching for you at?
Outside of doing these shows, I have my own YouTube channel. It's Wolf Sensei or Wolf Dojo. I'm not sure which one it is. Basically, I do martial arts related content. You can also find me on TikTok at Wolf Dojo as well. We have a whole community on there called Martial Talk, and a bunch of martial arts creators. That's what I do outside of writing stories and being a general nuisance to Raz and the rest of the Outlight Network. So yeah, you can find me on TikTok and YouTube as Wolf Sensei or at Wolf Dojo.
And that's Wolf with a U.
Wolf with a U, WULF. And there is a whole reason behind that, and it actually has to do with an epic poem that I wrote, which we may get into on Outlight Society.
You wrote Beowulf?
I did not, but I kind of wish I had. I did write an epic poem that has absolutely nothing to do with Beowulf, but the main character is named Wolfric, which is where the wolf actually comes from.
Nice. All right. Okay, I'm going to go next because Jenny's the longest, and I like getting out of the way. You can find me at here on Owlite as Delphine. You can find me on the Dorkening as Carrie Sanders, Kari. And if you see a crow on Facebook, that is me. You can like me, follow me, friend me, and hang out with me. We'll be having good times. All of the rest of my links are there. And check out my author page on Amazon. You can do all of that. And pretty much if you get a hold of me on anything other than just Carrie Sanders, you're going to hear from Jenny down below. Mm-hmm. She will let me know what's going on because she is smart like that. I am not. But
I'll do mine then because she's got to do part of mine too. Wherever I go, there I am, and that's where you can find me.
All right, Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have that movie too. I love it. Okay. Just as they said, you can find me on Dell. You can find me on Rat. You can find me on Fakehor. But if you want to just talk to me, please go to Friday with the Library in the Blue Box or Friday Blues Disorganized Library, which is my book group. And yes, and basically Owlite anything, Owlite Network, you'll be able to find me there too.
Friday is our gal Friday. She does it all. She keeps
and
us
Fakehor.
covered.
And oh yeah, and Fakehor. You can find me on Fakehor, where I like to hide with Patty. She is my favorite fairy.
It has nothing to do with the Heinlein book Friday, right?
No. Yes, it has everything to do with the Heinlein book.
I'm surprised you said no. I was like,
that. Like, no, you know, that is where that thing is. Like, no, you actually know. But yeah, no.
But
everything
yes,
to do with
but
Friday
yes.
Baldwin. Friday Baldwin is where I got that from because yeah, I love her. When I was a teenager, she was my hero. So yeah, don't ask me why. I have no idea why I was obsessed. It just stuck.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just feel like, Heinlein doesn't really get a lot of credit for a lot of the books that he wrote. And I think that a lot of people in this generation, like the new millennials and whatnot, they probably don't know a lot about the Heinlein books. So it's always good to have like an old school reference like that. Maybe it'll get them reading some of the old Heinlein books.
Oh, I do. I tell them about Dora and where she goes. And nobody knows about Dora or Gay except for like one person so far. And it's made me sad because nobody knows about. Well, I had a teacher, my geometry teacher in 6th grade was so sad because I'm a Howard. Literally, I was born a Howard and I could not help him with the rejuvenation process.
Oh, also on Sunday, we're having an Owlite Society. We have Joshua Rex is going to be coming. Steve Van Sampson. We also have Rob Smales is going to be joining us. And Friday and I, we're talking the other day. We both have been in love with the Chronicles of Narnia since forever.
The Chronic what?
Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah. See, somebody knows Lonely Island.
Lonely Island.
Oh yeah.
And since it's winter and neither of us have ever tried Turkish Delight before because you just don't find it in Texas or Nebraska that often, we ordered some Turkish Delight and we're going to go into where it's always winter in Narnia. It is winter here now, and we are going to see whether Turkish Delight is worth selling out an entire kingdom and your siblings for to a white queen.
Oh yeah. Well, we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing with House of Leaves.
Oh yeah, we'll figure that out.
The book is burning a hole in my filing cabinet, man. I need to read it.
Okay, we'll work it out. That'll be something we'll do on. That'll be something we do when we're not on live. So. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up, and come check us out on Owlite. Check out the Dorkening if you're an Owlite person who hasn't seen the Dorkening yet. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun.
But we had a lot of content. We're opening up a whole new world to you now. We've lost you.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody.
Have a good night.
And know your friends.